So as we're connecting, we might be connected. You never know with these live streams, the way these things go. Howdy ho, guys and gals. It's Red, your friendly tool guy, because the tool bear's not here. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. How's it going, everyone? Oh, my gosh. Let me see here. I'm going to put, my eyes are getting worse and worse every day. I don't know if I can see that small screen. I'm going to have to pull up on the big screen here. Give me half a second here to do that while we get everything set up. Of course, the missus will be here in about 15 minutes or so. She's picking up the kids from Moana, so we'll be there shortly. Let me pull up the live stream where somebody can see it. Oh, that's better. That's better. Let me pop that out. Make sure we got it on live chat. I always want to do that top chat thing. Live chat. That's the way we do this. Oh, boy, what a week. What a week. All right, let's say howdy. Frank Landgraf saying hi. Neil F. Rude Mopar dude, aren't we all? Barbecue 76. Steven is in the house. Rev Smith. Greg Crocker. Ian Axler. Christian Allen. We got Greg Crocker. Michael Gartner. Di is in the house. How you doing, Di? Arnie Carlson. Lyle D. David Gerhardt. I don't know. I'm terrible with names, folks. Don't take it personally if I mess up your name. I mess up my own name. I usually don't even remember my own name. Princess Jamie's in the house. Oh, I've been talking Jeeps with her for the past week. What was the new one? I had another one, another question for you. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, oh my gosh. Let's jump into, let's see what everyone says. By the way, don't forget to type at the Den of Tools above. The chat gets a little fast and furious. It's the only way I can keep up. No, you're not like just chatting amongst yourself or just shouting out or something. So type at the Den of Tools. It literally shows up like that as a big orange blob for us, for myself. And lets me know that you're talking to me or to the missus when she gets here. And so I can answer it. All right. The lady says, good evening, brother. How you doing? Robert Adams says, the flying half tells Mrs. Bear hi. I will let her know as soon as she gets here. Oscar Gonzalez says, hey, Den of Tools. He's clapping hands there. Levick says, hello, Jeff from Las Vegas. We're gonna be down there soon. Going down for a show, a friend's show right after the turkey holiday there, Thanksgiving, and then we'll be down there probably January sometime, maybe until February, March. Tech Grill is in the house. Homley says, good evening from Tennessee. That's awesome. A lot of people have been moving to Tennessee. Another viewer just emailed me. He moved from Texas to Tennessee, and he's loving it there, and that's awesome. Lucas says, what do you think of the Ford Maverick? Mama said, don't, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. It's cute. You know what it is? It's a pickup truck for city folks who want to have a pickup truck. They want to go mountain biking on the weekends or go camping or something, but they got to live in the city. And I get it. Might as well buy a Subaru Outback. I guess it's better for those of you who maybe have a house in the city. You got to carry some stuff anyway. Steven says, get my message from yesterday. I'm so terrible about that. I know you emailed me the other day about something. I don't remember. I've been out and about. Anytime I'm not in the studio, I'll be honest, anytime I'm not in the studio right now, we're probably out looking for deer and whatnot. I got so skunked this morning. I don't even want to talk about it. The muleys just gloated at me. First of all, showed up on a whole herd of antelope 2 weeks out of antelope season. Hadn't seen an antelope the entire time they're in season. I go up on some state land, pull up on some back, just rolling plains area, and I look out there, and there's a huge herd of antelope. Oh, my gosh. They're just taunting me. Tony says, hello from Roswell, New Mexico. Mater says, what's up, Bear? How you doing, Mater? Tickleball says, thanks for the live stream. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you very much. We're going to try. You two, we're going to be going over to our friend's house, doing that sort of thing, and I don't know what else we're doing. I'm trying to close some extra windows here so I can make sure. I don't want to take your dang survey. That's a hard pass on that. Oh, geez. I'll talk to you later. Valve trying to get me to do their survey. All right. There we go. What else? Levick says, when you come to Vegas, email me to a car meet. email me to come to a car meet. That sounds like a good time. We'll definitely try to make that happen. Frank says, I'm in day 4 of COVID recovery since spent 6 days in the hospital. It's been fun. Oh my gosh. But you're home now, right? I know COVID is no joking matter for, older folks and those who aren't in the peak of health. It can be tough. Zaffio says, what sort of dark arts are you up to in that dark shop? You can see I got the Tack Life saw behind me. We're setting that thing up. They're just trying to make some room, get some things organized. Honestly, this week past 2 weeks, it's been maybe 3 weeks. It's been all deals, and more deals, just trying to find all the good deals. Although we are going to be sipping a little bit of the Devil's River Futon now too. I think sent this to us. Devil's River Rye Whiskey. I got to say, usually I have to be in the mood for rye whiskey. This is actually better than their regular whiskey. I'm stunned to say that. This is actually pretty good. We're going to have a couple fingers of that. Not too much. We got to be productive this week. Got to do our deals of the week in the morning and then maybe go out and see if I can find that dang muley buck that's been annoying me. Oh, all right. Let's see here. Armored Hevel says, I know nothing. C. Adams says, glad to hear you sound better. I am feeling better. Still got the sniffles, something fierce, but I think it's just the cold. It's been in the 20s today. It's been real. Like this morning, I was out with the Cubs this morning, and we go into some state land, and we spotted the antelope. We tooled around. We didn't find anything. We cruised here, we cruised there, came back to the same spot. About an hour and a half later, whole herd of mule deer. At least 2, nothing trophy size, but 2 good enough bucks to put on the grill. And I'm sitting there, and oh my gosh, it just took forever. First they're hiding like they're skylining. You can't take them when they're skylining. Then one of them's like being shadowed, like has a doe glued to his backside. I can't do anything with that. Another one has his back end to me. Can't do anything with that. Finally, I'm out there making noise, trying to get him to look around. Finally get one to present just perfect, just down the hill. I'm like, okay, but this is 130 yards ish, maybe a bit more. And I'm shooting with iron sights with a lever action, and I get it lined up, and I'm ready to take the shot. And I'm freehand, not braced on anything, not laying down. And just as I start to pull the trigger, the north wind comes right down my barrel, right into my eye. And just tears, because it's 25, 27 degrees, and that wind's coming down right off of the mountains and just froze my eyeballs solid. And needless to say, I missed. None too happy about that one. Anyways, where were we? Greg Cracker says, just picked up the Ryobi 40 volt, 14-inch chainsaw to cut some large branches. First impressions, it seems good for my uses. The 40 volt chainsaws are pretty decent. Christian says, do you think Tecton will have good Black Friday sales? I would not hold my breath on that. That said, Tecton doesn't have a lot of deals. So any deal from them is technically a good deal, unless you find it like, say, when, whatchamacallit was closing out their supply. I can't remember the name of that grocery store over there in the Midwest that was carrying them. That was a huge deal. And every once in a while, we'll see it on Amazon. I keep an eye out on Amazon for sellers who are trying to clear out the old, the Tecton stuff. But Tecton themselves, they have a few deals here and there. They're planning to have some Black Friday deals. I do know that. Whether they're going to be amazing, meh. The Robert Adams says, missed a few Sunday live shows. Did you see Dune? And what do you think of it? It wasn't what I expected, and still not sure if I liked it. All right. So those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Dune fan. I was an avid reader as a young man. I read everything in the sci-fi fantasy genre. I could walk in and be like, yep. I read all of it. And Dune was probably one of, if not my favorite book. In fact, my oldest son is named after one of the characters in the book Dune. And so I'm a huge fan of it. And I was actually a big fan of the movie. I liked the movie quite a lot. I did not like the director's cut. The director's cut made it look more like Flash Gordon, less ominous. And, but the recent movie, I liked it. I did. there were parts of it, it felt like it really got the mood, and like the mood was really great, and it was ominous. There's a lot of overtones and stuff. And then it would club you over the head with something that was just like, like, okay, we're behind. We need to catch up. So I'm just going to tell you this. And it was really kind of weird. And then there was some other stuff they left out, like I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but there were key parts that they did leave out that were pertinent to the whole theme of the story and why he's, allegedly the Kwisatz Haderach and everything else. And anyway, some of it they beat you over the head, some of it they deleted. Overall, I thought the imagery was fantastic. I liked the acting. I thought it was really good. Am I going to watch the rest? I watched it with my Cubs, and we're going to watch the rest of them probably. So, excuse me. What do you think of heated jackets? Well, I wouldn't know because they don't make them in my size. I'm a big guy, and finding heated jackets in my size is next to impossible. I can tell you at this point, Griffin's got a Gear Wrench heated jacket that is kind of akin to like your standard Carhartt jacket, and that's the feel and the fabric. He hunted in it, and Duncan also. So Duncan was up here. Duncan, for those of you who don't know, Duncan's 15, Griffin's 10. Griffin's not hunting. He's scout, carries the backpack, that kind of stuff. He's a good kid. Duncan was hunting. He got skunked as well. He was only up here. We only really got to hunt for 2 days and a morning, and it was rough. Anyway, we're pretty much on lockdown, and anyway. But Duncan's got a Gear Wrench also, but his is more of a zip-up hoodie kind of thing. So he really wished that he'd had more like the one that Griffin has, because it's better for the outdoor kind of stuff, crawling around on the, we got cactus. A lot of people don't understand it. We don't have big cactus like they have down in Arizona. We got this kind of dry sage and stuff, and in the middle of it, you'll have these little cactus plants. So you'll kneel down or you'll sit down to get an angle, and you'll end up sitting or laying back on a cactus. It happens all the time. So he wished he had Griffin's, because Griffin's was a little more armored against that. The missus has a Milwaukee heated jacket that she basically never uses, and she's always cold. When she gets here, she can tell you why. Eleanor has been wanting one, and but she doesn't like the look of them because she's just now getting into style and stuff. So some company sent us some heated vests, and she's trying that out. So I'll let you know what she thinks. She just got it, so we're going to give her a week or so to see what she thinks of it. Because the nice thing about the heated vest is it's not real bulky. She can wear it under other garments. So she can wear her nice, fancy, thrift store pickup jacket and have the heated vest underneath it. I can tell you this, as somebody who didn't have heated, and they're sitting there going, oh, it's so hot, I got to take this thing off. I thought it would have been nice to have. G'day, Bruce. G'day, Sheila. Groove Jet says, how you doing? Steven says, Facebook Messenger. Oh, man. I don't know. Hold on here. Now I got to pull up Facebook and see what's what. Jonathan says, thoughts on the Icon line of tools worth the price? When it's on sale, I will have to say, Icon has kind of become my go-to ratchet. The ratcheting wrenches are my favorite of all the brands. And I've tested everything. I've got, where is it? It's over there. I'm not going to go get it. I've even got some Snap-on stuff, and I like the Icon ratchet wrenches the best. Their sockets are okay. I like Tecton sockets. I like Icon ratcheting wrenches. I kind of like the Icon ratchets themselves. But I also like quick release ratchets. So I go back and forth between them and the Tecton ratchets. As far as just regular wrenches, I don't know. I'm not that picky when it comes to them. I got some Husky ones that work great. I've got some, what do you call them? Who makes the other ones? Cobalt. And I don't think I have any really high end just wrenches. As far as impact sockets, I got Cobalt, and they work amazingly well. Mike Adams says, hey, howdy y'all. Jeff, you might have to do like me, get bifocals. Shh. Don't say terrible stuff like that. Start looking crazy trying to find this sweet spot between the lenses. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. Yeah, I in the past month, my eyes have taken another. I'm out to like here as far as reading on something. Like I can see this screen fine, but then my little laptop next to it, I can't see that. If I put these on, they're too close, and then that's too far. Anyway. Marty says, good evening from North Las Vegas. Love the 12-volt skill. That's awesome. By the way, ran into a fellow from North. So Griffin, the youngest one, he's playing hockey. That's the other place those heated jackets come in handy. Eleanor, when she goes to the hockey game, she's been sitting there all nice and toasty. Coldest ice rink I've ever been in. Maybe as a kid it didn't affect me. I started playing when I was 7 until for umpteen years, and I never thought ice rinks were all that cold. This rink is freezing cold. Mark says, had a Ford Maverick in the 70s. Does that count? I had a Maverick. I had a 4-door Maverick. And it was a great little car. It was a lot of fun. I wish it was a 2-door, but trying to get the 2 doors. Levick says, don't buy any Outback. Just sold ours. Transmission issues with those CVTs, CVTS. We just bought a 21 Highlander XSE. That's the Toyota, right? David says, many hurt in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Many hurt as cars run through Christmas parade. What? What happened? Cars running through Christmas parades. That's terrible. Roll Tide. More than 20 injured after an SUV plows through a Wisconsin holiday parade. Oh my gosh. Well, let's take a moment to pray for those people injured that they're all going to recover. That's ridiculous. Oh. Anyway, let's see here. Princess Jamie says, finally made it to my last stop for my trip. Almost had a plane incident. Lightning struck it on climb out and it went black. Oh my gosh. Had to do a go around because of the landing gear indicator. Whoa. Oh, that'll make you need to change your britches. Oh my gosh. David says, hey Red, I'm getting out of the military and I'm getting a job as a diesel tech. Would you recommend DeWalt or Milwaukee for a cordless line? For diesel, I would have to go with Milwaukee or the Makita. The Milwaukee, the Makita, for the high-end stuff, apparently the new Snap-on, which is just ridiculously priced though. But I think either the Milwaukee or the high, like the 36-volt Makita, the new line there, I think either one of those will do you good for a diesel tech. Now, it depends on, like, are you doing, like, diesel, like my kind of diesel, like 3500, or are you doing, like, full line, semi kind of stuff, or even, like, you could be doing marine, all sorts of stuff. Anyway. Fred says, sad to say there are dead, too. Are there really? Oh, my gosh. Law enforcement, more than 20 people injured. What is going on? Sorry, folks. Hold on. Shut up. Good grief. I hate it when websites do that. Let's hear. Michael says, coldest hockey rink in America was the Olympics rink at Squaw Valley. Squaw Valley changed their name. It was built without a back wall. It has since collapsed, though. Jeez. Ed's Workout says, Mr. Bear, how are you? How's Mrs. Bear and the Cubs doing? We're all doing pretty good. I got to say, we're keeping way busy. We're running over to Bozeman at least twice a week because Griff's got practice. He's got practice one day, and he's got a game the next day. And then going over there to, other business kind of stuff. And plus going, trying to get the hunt in before the season, trying to, punch that tag before the end of the season. Just tired. Let's see here. Michael Buddy says, almost got the Ryobi battery power washer, not handheld, but reviews were either sparse or worrisome. Anyone confirm that Ryobi is good? Don't need tons of power, need longevity. the power washer. I have not tried that. I'll say this. I find, Ryobi usually does a pretty decent job for the homeowner kind of stuff. Depends on like, are you just looking for something to like wash your car and rinse down the sidewalk in the house kind of thing? Or are you looking for something to like, strip the, paint off a deck or whatnot? Let's see here. Sorry, just trying to catch up here. David says it would be semis. Well, then, yeah, you're going to want to go for the Milwaukee or the I mean, you can go Snap Out if you want, but my gosh, you're looking at $900 for a kit on that. You're looking at like half price for the Milwaukee or the Makita on that. Fred says, Bear, I've had 6.5-inch Bauer cordless saw for a while. Finally used it yesterday. I bought a Herc saw blade. It works great. I got to tell you, that Herc saw is pretty decent. It's a lot better quality than I was expecting. I've been a fan of Diablo for years. About 6 years ago, I finally tried the Irwin Marples blade after a bunch of people told me that it's practically exactly the same. And I gotta say, I got about the same performance on it. And I would rank the Hercules blade in that category as well. And honestly, what I do is I just buy whichever one's on sale that week. If I need a new blade, I go and look. I'm like, I any one of those three, and I'm happy with it. Nova sneaks in the house. How's it going? And Kevin says, Bear, I'm looking to get my 6-year-old son a beginning set. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get him the beginner crescent set and the 12-volt skill drill. Thoughts? I'm not sure what beginner crescent set, but I mean, the crescent set isn't bad. It's a decent little set. The 12-volt skills they're pretty nice. For 6 years old though, thought I had it right here. They're bigger than. Well, I moved them all because I went to take a picture of them the other day. They're bigger than the other 12-volt stuff that's out there. They're kind of about the size of like the compact stuff from Makita and from DeWalt. So they're not an M12 for a 6-year-old. The handle would probably be a little too fat. So, but at that price, I mean, it's probably a good place to start. Uh-oh. Someone's coming. Better drink while I can. Did you see that? I saw that. Did you bring me any dinner? Nope. There she is. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to grab you a chair.
I see that.
I know. I'm a bad person. What do we got today? Oh, that is a bad choice. I've got a tag for you.
Any hunters on the way?
I have a tag for you. Hand me my orange. I'm going to punch that tag. Di says, needed extra 12-volt batteries for my Milwaukee. Got the little driver recommended 2 batteries for the same price. Sweet deal. That was a pretty killer deal, wasn't it? Speaking of which, I found the other 12 Milwaukee batteries for your coat. Yay! And I've charged them for you. Yay! She says yay. She never uses it. Paul C. Marie says, greetings, y'all. Michael Chesney says, given my background, the crash.
Ow.
Oh.
Do I have a microphone?
You do. It's not turned on. Hold on. Let me.
And if anyone's wondering, it's a little crazy outside.
Keep talking.
It's a little bit windy. I know. I need to pick it up. Is that better?
There we go.
Apparently my eyebrow is doing something weird. Anyways, I'm here. It was really windy when I was coming in.
There we go. I turned her up. If it needs to be turned up or down, let me know.
Did you see Christian Allen's super chat?
I did not.
Woo, your screen is really hard for me to read. It's $2 super chat. Says the best homeowner paper.
Handheld paper puncher.
Yes, for beginners. That's a big question.
Is that easier there?
There's not a glare there. But You know what? I can just look on my phone.
I'm trying to be courteous here. The best handheld for a beginner. So here's what I'm going to say. This is kind of weird, and a lot of people are not going to agree with this, but I think the SIG P365 XL is perfect. But what?
I'm going to follow it up with something, but you finish your thing.
So the 365L, the 365 was made as an everyday carry paper puncher. But the 365 XL is almost as big as a full-size service sidearm, but it is slimmer. It's easy to use. It feels good in the hand. I'll be honest, I could use that home defense. I could use it on the range. I carry it when I go hunting for grizzlies. So
Paul St. Marie says, chat seems to be broken on Android for some reason. Don't know if it's related to subscriber only. I would say try refreshing. But to follow up on what you're saying, I would say the best way to figure out for yourself is to go and test it at a range. So go somewhere where you're able to
rent.
Only because he and I have very different sized hands. And what works and is amazing for one person, the other person may totally hate it. So take everyone's advice. And I know a bunch of other people have also chimed in with their own advice. So take everything with a grain of salt and go try for yourself.
That she's very much right on that. There's no denying that you got to find what works for you, what feels comfortable for you, what you're going to be happy with. I've basically stopped using every other kind of handheld that I have. I'm down with selling everything else I have and just having SIG 365 either in the compact or in the XL or in the X. That's all I need. I don't have a lot of fancy Save Queens. I now have one. I have one that I would actually count as a Save Queen besides her.
I was going to say, besides me.
And that I picked up at a garage sale. So I was not looking for it, just happened to be there. All right, let me catch up on the rest of these.
You can't. I have 2 things to say. Chris has been a member for 26 months. Woohoo!
Oh, congratulations.
I'm trying not to be super, super loud, but on the inside, I'm being super, super loud. So thank you so much. And Chris, you have been with us for forever, it seems like. So thank you so much. I hope that you are still enjoying work.
I'll drink to that.
And then David Parker joined this evening. So thank you for becoming a member. You were awesome.
Wasn't there something else?
Bing, bing. I hadn't gotten to that. I'm trying not to bing. I don't know what to do with myself. And then Adam Bennett. Hey, Adam. With a $20 super chat. Holy cheese and crackers. What about The Sword of Truth by Terry Goodkind? Sword of Truth is a book, correct?
No.
No?
Okay. Is it? I don't know. Maybe it is.
Were you guys talking about books?
We're talking about Dune.
Okay, so I think we're talking about a book. I will Google that. Thank you so much for educating us.
I know Terry Goodkind. The Sword of Truth. 21... Oh.
It is a book.
Yeah, I remember that. There were some I just could not get into. And I've read a lot of his stuff. But Wizard's First Rule is definitely one that I've read all of that.
Wow.
But
super windy.
yeah, it is super windy out, isn't it?
So, Adam, we will have to check that one out.
Also, did you hear about this?
Yes, I've heard different.
Do we have any idea what happened?
I haven't read enough to comment on that.
Okay.
I heard some wild, outlandish things.
Yeah,
is
there's
there
all.
any way for me to have like a teeny bit more room?
Well, I'm on the edge of the screen, so what more do you want?
All of it.
Look at that. You got a ton of room. Look at all that room. You can go all that way. Scoot over. You got a ton of room. Why do you need to be in my lap?
We're married. That's why. Anyways, we're probably super behind. Thank you so much.
We're not as behind as usual because I've set it up so that only members can chat. So we're not getting bombarded as badly.
Oh.
In fact, if you want to chat, you do have to join and be not a member. Sorry, not members, subscribers. Only subscribers. You don't have to pay to chat.
I was like, Wow. That'll definitely.
Jeff's gotten hardcore.
I'm like,
No.
man. So, yes, make sure that you're subscribed. And don't forget to hit the like button. I remember.
You're
to
demanding
I
for
know.
someone dressed like a deer.
Hater.
Neil says, glad to report I bought a Festool track saw, not my normal brand. Wow. I'm so jealous. That's a nice saw. It is smooth. What do you think about the Ryobi HP Compact Series? I have the drill and the impact, and they're great. The battery thing though just bothers me. It's so big and sticks out. It's like what's his name? What's that one comedian that took over the Tonight Show with a huge chin?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And Simon says, hey, Mrs. DeBear.
Hey.
I was also told to tell you that the flying half says hi.
Oh, hey. I hope that she is doing well and resting. I also do see that Tommy Unfiltered is here.
Hey, Tommy.
Not sure if you're on the road or not, but travel safe. Oh, Zaffiel with the $2 super chat.
Hey.
Ryobi sucks. Not even DOT. It says even DOT doesn't like it. Shaka G. Oh, are you quoting people now? Did Shaka send that message to you? Anyways, thank you so much for the super chat. I hope you're having a good night, Zaffiel.
So let's see here. What else was next? Jackalope ears. And what else we got? Frank says, hi, Mrs. Bear. Someone asked CZ83 or 82 for first handle. I would say no. They're not bad. They're all metal. It depends on what you're going to, if you just, for something I'm just going to take to the range, I want a full size. For something I want to be able to use in a lot of places, I want a polymer because I want it to be lightweight. I love CZ. I got to tell you, there has been none other. When you grab one and you pick it up, CZ feels like it was made for your hand. Like some craftsman came out while you were sleeping. They measured your hand. They said, okay, it has to go like this. And you're like, CZ is the exact opposite of holding a Glock. A Glock is like holding a brick. It is the most. It is the worst experience ever in handhelds. CZ is the opposite. No, they don't like it.
Yeah,
they just think they're being cool because, it's trustworthy. It has that Glock reputation and trustworthy. No, they all do these days.
Shaka. A $2 super chat says,
Woo-hoo.
Jeff, it is not great. It is trash.
CZ?
No, I think still talking about.
I know they're talking about Ryobi.
Chris, wow, with the $19.99 super chat. The universal answer to the best question, in my experience, is what you find works best for you, i.e., the best adult beverage is the one that you enjoy, and the only best way is the way you consume it. There you go.
The best adult beverage is the one on my table next to me.
Don't listen to him.
Go on if you got
Barbecue 76 with the $2 super chat. I subscribed. Does that mean I get to chat?
It
Yes.
does. And
Absolutely.
I'm going to be spatchcocking my turkey. I did a turkey last year. I smoked it. It was delicious. It was a little dry. So this year I'm going to be doing I'm going to be spatchcocking it so I don't have to, because the problem with the other one is this part cooks first and then you got to slow down and catch up with this part, blah, blah. So we're going to spatchcock it. We're going to season it. We're going to wet brine it for a day ahead of time. And I'm also probably going to add a couple can of beers in there for some humidity as well. We're going to do all sorts of fun stuff with it, see how it comes out. Of course, I'm going to be doing that on my Pit Boss pellet grill, provided for us by Pit Boss.
Yes. Zaffiel with a $2 super chat. Brick. What better than a brick for a weapon? Well, if
you're the DNC, that's true. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to talk politics.
Right?
I'm not. I'm not. I almost made this about. I was going to do a whole ask me anything Kilo Romeo questions.
Nope.
For those of you who don't know, I'm a certified self-defense instructor. Well, first of all, I did martial arts for years, so I do know some self-defense, quite a bit actually. And also in the bang, bang, shoot, shoot kind, NRA certified inside the home and outside the home, and was also a CCW instructor in California in 2 different counties. for many, many years. So I got to tell you, if politics was not involved, that thing would never have gone to court. It was cut and dried. It's about as cut and dried as it gets.
We're not going to talk about
We can talk about it as long as we leave the politics out and we stay on track and we use code terms so the Big Brother's algorithm can't find us.
Steven with the $2 super chat.
Hide your
Shaka.
100 tools.
Ryobi recip saw does good for butchering.
I'm planning to use that Works.
I'm like squished.
I've got a Works one-hand recip, and I was thinking about using that to spatchcock the turkey. What do you think?
As long as I don't have to clean it.
All right, let me catch up on some of these before she chats the night away here. Women, right? Can't live with them.
I'm boring into your skull on the television.
Wings and pizza. Oh, that sounds awesome. Just wanted to give a shout out to the Cobalt XTR. Picked up 4 tools plus 1 light kit. Must say, I'm impressed. It's hard not to be impressed by the XTR kit. It really is, especially when it's on a good sale price. Asylum says, hi, Mrs. DeBear. Kevin says, what's the best 3/8 impact that I can get? I'm looking for something powerful enough to take lug nuts off, but small enough for lighter work. Wow, that's a good question. What is the best XTR? Well, it depends on your price range. Are you looking for cordless? If cordless, it's probably the best of whatever cordless brand you're in. Of course, Milwaukee has a fantastic one. Makita's got a decent one. DeWalt's got a great one. The Hercules have got ones that they're not fantastic, but if you saw my video on it, they'll take the lug nut off of a Ram 3500. Wait. I got something for that. If you guys heard that was Moto. Ready? Watch the screen. Shut up, Moto. Stickers available in the shop now. Shameless plug. There's lots of good ones. Are there any terrible ones out there? I don't know if there's any terrible. When you're looking for 3/8 that's compact and powerful, I mean, if you want like super powerful, you're going to go Makita, or you're going to go DeWalt, or you're going to go Milwaukee. It's just kind of the way it goes. Or you can go Snap-on if you just got money you want to burn. The Fred says, hi, Mrs. Bear. Jackalope ears. Frank says, hi. Everyone's saying hi to you. No one says hi to me.
Well, are you wearing cute, adorable ears and antlers?
Fred says, is your Montana P.O. box here on the page? I don't know if it's on the live stream videos, but it is, I believe, on most of our other videos. Let me go to like my last video, the one where I talked about the new the new Die Hard.
And while you do that,
Nope.
I'm going to mention...
Nope.
What do you mean?
No, because I said no.
Okay, well, I'm not listening to you.
Yes, it's in all other recent like videos in the last year.
And it's even the right address. I double-checked.
You don't know.
Zaffiel with a $2 super chat. Miss both of you on Morning Investing Channel. I know. We wish we had more time. Wish there was more of us.
Yeah, I wish I was more productive and get stuff done fast. And I keep trying to work on my schedule. And like the more stuff I get done, the more stuff I think I can do. And Jackalope ears, Mr. Michael says, greetings on the evening, Mrs. J. Delaney says, howdy, Mrs. DeBear. Grant Wynn says, what's your experience with metal cutting saws? So here's my experience with metal cutting saws. I've never done it professionally. Okay, that's not entirely true. But that...
I love you.
When I was running network wire and stuff, we would have to cut like, guides and stuff like that for wire guides and whatnot. It's light wire work kind of stuff. What I would say, and we use grinders mostly for that, metal cutting saws. So, and I've tested the Diablo, I think it's called the Demon, the little circ saw blade you can put like in a 7 1/4 inch chop saw. And I ran that in a heart and was able to cut angle iron like butter in that thing. That was fantastic. I've used abrasive saws in the past. I don't know if I would go back unless there was, I don't know if there's a cost benefit, but I can tell you as a cut benefit, I wouldn't go back to abrasive saws. I would use the circ saw steel rated blades for that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can do it with grinders, and I've done it with grinders. But man, if you can get away with just using one of those Diablo steel demons, that is a beautiful thing. And I've used metal cutting bandsaws a ton. I've taken woodworking ones and I've converted them. I've done it with the portable ones. I've cut through steel. I've cut through cast iron. I've cut through aluminum. That's probably like the safest and easiest way to do it. Jesse, consider you tagged.
Oh, man.
I should
Put a little tape on my
piece of paper right here on your antler.
and should say Da Bear.
Yeah. What's your... Okay, we answered that. Best hand we talked about... was it Livingston's best handgun, 9mm, that's comfy for your hand. The firearm needs to be comfy for your hand. Everyone hand has a different experience. This is true. And I will say this. In general, you should carry the largest one. You should have the largest one that you can comfortably use. Mass, the size of the mass, the easier it is to hold, the bigger it is, usually the easier it is for you to grab, the more energy it's going to absorb. I constantly tell the story about her trying my little pocket mouse gun, and it flew out of her hand. I knew it was going to when she fired it, which is why I was right behind her and caught it as it was coming out of her hand. She swore she'd never wanted to shoot it again or see it or talk about it, and she's probably glaring at me right now for even mentioning it. But the fact is, and that's what I like about the Piece 365 XL. It's one of these compacts that's actually been sized up, so it's big enough to be comfortable, but small enough to be portable. The Paul Samer says, I respectively disagree. The Beretta PX4 compact carry much nicer. It's not bad, but
deal.
Paul is clearly wrong.
Do not make me spit soda all over the microphone.
Also listen to Mr. Bear. Yes.
No.
Yes. Well, he said it.
No.
Jim Tech says Home Depot rocks, got the Husky 42x18 chest, $298 less $20 coupon, and 2 free DeWalt cordless bandsaws. What?
With the 4.6 amp hour battery kit.
Wait, how'd that happen? My wife steals it from me. Yeah, that's my life in general. Mike says, what's your opinion on the infrared thermometers that Harbor Freight offers for use DIY occasional? The infrared, no, they're not bad, but I'll be honest, most of them are not. Most of the infrared thermometers, I've tried lots of them because I've used them. So I used them when I was doing IT and technical kind of stuff because we would we'd be doing like the ducting for server rooms. And so there's a lot of heat there, and you got to be able to make sure that where that heat is and where it's going. So we used it a lot for that kind of stuff. I also use it at home for insulation, that kind of stuff. You can ask her. I've had dozens of these things. I've used them professionally. I've used them personally.
Our children steal them.
Our children, yeah, they run off with them. I use them on the grill.
They
all
are
sorts
really
of stuff.
a useful tool.
They really. I got a couple of them over in the tool chest. And one of them is the Harbor Freight one. In fact, I also want to try the Harbor Freight thermal one to see what that one's like. But they're all pretty decent. They're all good enough for most. None of the stuff that you're going to be using a thermal, laser probe like that on is going to be something that is going to, where you need a very fine, degree of temperature control. You just need to be in the neighborhood, and that's what it's going to tell you if you're in the neighborhood. It's going to tell you like, if you got a draft on this wall or, if the leak is next to your window, you're going to see it easily with that kind of thing. I like the one. There is one I've seen on Amazon and we used it in the office. Then instead of having this, because the laser isn't what measures the temperature. The laser just shows you where it's pointing. And it's actually a cone as it comes out. And it had a laser splitter, so it came out as a cone. The laser itself did. It came out in a dot, almost like a shotgun, but it was symmetrical kind of thing. So if you're up close, it's showing you an image that big. If you're 20 feet away, it's showing you something, about 30 inches across. And that's great because now you're really understanding where you're getting your temperatures from.
Zapfiel with a $2 super chat. Den of Tools, speak the truth. Beretta Bobcat loves to snake bite.
Oh. I like one of my favorite shotguns is a Beretta. I like some Beretta stuff. I'm not a fan of that big 9mm, the service one. But Beretta makes some great stuff. And a good friend of mine who I used to teach with, she carried a Beretta, and I've shot it. Smooth gun, nice and smooth. It was a SADA, single action, double action. And I'll tell you what. Until I started teaching CCW, single action, double action was my go-to. That is the equivalent of being like, I want a 5-speed stick. I want the tachometer. I want to have all the control. But when you start doing deep carry kind of stuff, you start realizing striker fire really is where it's at. She carried in a purse with a flap that folded down, and she could get away with that kind of stuff. Fred says, so Bear, tell me what's your whiskey, Mrs. DeBear. What chocolate covered cherries do you like? My whiskey, my go-to, like everyday kind of thing is Woodford's Reserve, just the regular, not the double oaked. If you like licking trees, get the double oaked. It literally tastes like licking a tree. I will tell you this. I did find one recently that really has a peppery flavor, like they poured pepper in it, and I kind of like it. And I bought some for a friend as just kind of a holiday gift. And it's called Bib and Tucker. And Bib and Tucker, like Bib, like a kid wearing a bib, and Tucker, like Dale and Tucker versus Evil. What a great movie if you haven't seen it. All I got to say is, are you okay?
We say that to each other all the time. We really do.
You got to see it. Anyway, Bib and Tucker is what back in the day people would put on for their Sunday best. You're going out on the town, you got your Bib and Tucker on. It is not the most sophisticated bourbon out there, and it tastes a lot hotter than it really is. But it's kind of it's one of those things where I tasted it first, I'm like, and then like 5 days later, I'm like, I could go for another bite of that. And next thing I know, I'm like, this is okay. It really grows on you. It's got a cool bottle. It's great as a gift kind of thing. So, but Woodford's is my go-to.
As far as chocolate covered cherries, I mean, I think they're all amazing.
Yeah.
I really like.
She likes them all.
Honestly, like the ones that I ate a lot of are the Queen Anne, which are like super cheapy. But I mean, I love cherries. So if it has a real cherry in it, I'm into it. If it's cherry flavored, I'm into it. All of them.
Just remember, this is a family channel.
You married it.
Paul St. Marie says, she doesn't look safe to me. Oh, no. Nothing safe there. By the way, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and on the Instagrams. We have a page over there. Post every so often. Try to post as much as we can. Great deals on the Facebook page. It's funny because I had somebody on the Facebook page like, I don't follow one of my posts. He goes, I don't follow his YouTube channel because he's never on time with the unicorn deals. Not realizing apparently that I'm the guy who started the whole unicorn deal concept and started the page just for that. He did say, well, he does do this page and stuff because usually unicorn deals, they usually pop up and are gone so fast that it's not worth doing a YouTube video for. Because honestly, I'll be honest, there's a lot of people out there who say they want the deals, but they don't want to do the work for the deals. So like I did that YouTube short on that tablet that was out there. $29 on what was, I think it was originally $180 tablet on sale for $99. And then it was being closed out, secret closeout, not advertised anywhere for $29. And the stores were showing them as zero in stock. Mm-hmm. All the stores, our local store had them for zero in stock. And I'll be honest, and generally we don't like to clear shelves. So we'll grab one or two or something. But we get there and the guy tells us there's one in stock. We're like, all right, I guess we'll take that one. And he goes away, and we're sitting there talking, and I mentioned it to this younger guy comes out. Anything I help you with? I'm like, I just got that one. He looks over, he goes, did he take the one off the shelf? He said, yeah. I said, yeah, that's the only one you have in stock. He's like, I got a stack of them back here.
Like a stack.
And he goes back, and there's more than 20 of them, so we get 6. She goes back the next day. They've got another shipment in, so she gets 2 more. She comes back again the next day. They got more in, so she gets 2 more.
Yeah, I was telling everyone that was in the line, like, you should get them. They're a really great deal.
Yeah, we are going to be like, we're going to be dripping with swag come the holidays when it's time to hand out presents and stuff. Like, you get a tablet, and you get a tablet, and you get a tablet. You don't like tablets? You're still getting a tablet. They're nice little tablets. They
are, and it's the kind of thing like, it's just super useful. You can use it for a ton of things. And if you have kids, that way you're not worried they're going to like totally.
We're keeping one I keep it next to the couch for me when I get home because, I mean, my phone is nice, but the tablet's bigger.
It's a little bigger.
So I use it for that. They're super thin, great build quality. And the screen is great. The only downside is they could use a little bit more horsepower in the CPU. You got to be a little patient with it. But usually I'm like watching TV, I'm looking something up. I'm like,
And
oh, what is that?
You pay $29 for it. You're a little more
Yeah,
forgiving.
you're a lot more
I'm just
forgiving
gonna
about
say,
it.
like, that's great. It connects to the internet.
All right,
Awesome. It's not a rock.
Let me catch up with some of this stuff. Repair Your PC says, working on my Android. Awesome. Di says, Mrs. DeBear could be turned up a bit for volume.
Okay.
Well, you're at max right now.
Well, I also moved it closer to me.
Okay. Ed C says, firearms are like women. What works for some might get someone else killed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
No truer statement has ever been made.
Video skill, good, bad, ugly. I thought I did one. Did I not? I think I did one on Flex. That's a great call. I should definitely do that. Urim says, I recently got into the Hercules. I will try and put that on the front burner there for doing some other videos. Urim says, I recently got into the Hercules line from Harbor Freight. They haven't had any 5-amp batteries in stock for months. Do you have any idea what's going on? I do. It is, supply chain is throttled hard on those. And as soon as they get in, the people who are into that line are sitting there stalking them. And as soon as they come in, they go out. I talked to the store manager up here in Bozeman. I have contact with some of the managers down in Vegas. And they're like, yeah. He's like, the second we put them on the shelves, people buy them. That's the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Okay, we're not going to have him singing.
Some batteries will never change.
Calm down. No.
Thank you. Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Tattoo artists and bartenders.
Yeah. What's that line? What's that great movie with Steve, the comedian, who was on Saturday Night Live? My Blue Heaven, where he does the line. It's not tipping, I believe in. It's over tipping.
Right.
I love that movie. All right. I completely lost my place because the wife does that to me. I am way super behind.
That's right. Not me. I'm on top of it.
Let's see here. All right. Semis we talked about. This is DeBear. We talked about Jackalope ears. We talked about that. Good bag. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to play catch up, which means she's going to go on mute here for a minute. Let me press the button. There we go. That's not going to work. It never works. Okay, we talked about that. Dustin says, long time, first time. Any clue why Ryobi didn't launch the Link system? No. No. I have no idea. I want one so bad. That is the holy grail of DIYer home organization storage systems. I have no idea. None. I can't answer it. I've reached out to Ryobi. I've reached out to Ryobi Australia. I've talked to everyone I know. Nobody's got a clue what happened to it. And they're not selling it anywhere now. They're not selling it overseas. They're not selling it. It only lasted like 2 years and was poof, gone. Paul Zimmer says, good kind lost me when he turned into a preachy objectivist. There's a lot of authors out there who, as they get into a little bit of success, they start going up on the pulpit, don't they? Fred says, gonna have to update my account. And let's see here. Fred says, looks like the line of Bauer is exploding. Oh yeah, they're coming out with brushless stuff. We got the mud mixer coming. Actually, I think that'd be pretty good for mixing malt for when I'm doing the homebrew and stuff.
Yep.
Frank says, would you buy the Bauer or the Hercules corded recip? I got to be honest. I've got Hercules stuff. Other than the 12 volt, I almost never use it anymore. At home, we have for most of our outdoor power equipment, we've got Hart for all the big stuff. It's in 40 volt. We have a couple 20 volt stuff, and then everything else is Bauer. All my Bauer stuff is pretty much at home. And that's what we use all the time at home, and it works great.
Zaffiel with a $5 super chat. Bring back the bell. I love the look of disdain on my girlfriend has every time she hears it. Serves her right for not liking cool YouTube live streams. Hey, you could watch, and then maybe she could get into it. Just saying. Chris, $4.99 super chat. Good night, all. 4 a.m. shows up way too early. Friendly reminder to all to like the video and all the YouTube things. Have a great night and be safe.
Jake says, best turkey fryer, and have you heard of doing a ham in one? I've never heard of doing a ham in one. Fried ham does not sound appetizing. I could be wrong. And I've never owned a turkey fryer. I had a buddy who owned a turkey fryer. It was a pot on top of I've had the turkey fryer burner, but I didn't use it for turkey frying. I used it for brewing beer. And other things, but we're not much into frying, so I don't use it a lot. Princess Jamie says, gonna head out for a bit. Nice seeing you on stream. Always feel free to message me. Sorry, I know she had a long flight. She finally got to where she was going. Her plane got hit by lightning and went black.
Oh.
They had to do a turnaround, come back and land because there was a landing gear light on.
I have been on a plane that was struck by lightning. It didn't do that, but it wasn't a fun experience. I will tell you that.
I told her to fly safe, or I said, have a safe trip or be as safe as you can be. And she laughed. Apparently I had jinxed her. Robert Adams says she's trying to get a trip so she can cash in on the 300% pay for not calling in sick for the holidays bonus. That's a nice bonus.
Wait, if I don't call in sick, I get a 300%
I would
bonus?
I would be there with Ebola at 300%, and I have before. I've done those days. I've been there and done that. Let's see here. Chris says, how do you rate the Channel Lock $89 kit versus the Cobalt $89 kit? CL box containing ratchets, wrenches, and it didn't make your comparison video. It did not, and I don't know. Let me see if I can pull up Channel Lock.
Just a reminder to everyone, if you do at the Den of Tools, we will be sure to read your comment. Yes, we are behind, but we do read everyone's comments unless something insane happens.
So I did look at this kit, and I'll be honest, it basically fell short in every single category. You get one ratchet, you get some sockets, you get some. It's a 132 piece kit versus, and you're getting the same amount of. Well, almost the same amount of filler, but you're losing out on everything else. You're not getting. If you saw the kit I showed, which was by Apex, that is essentially a Channel Lock kit, but it's actually that wasn't Channel Lock. It was the other one. I was confused the two, Channel Lock and Crescent. Channel Lock makes great stuff. Their kits are not inexpensive. That's all I'm going to say. But I did see that kit, and there's a reason I didn't include it. I didn't think it measured up to pretty much most of the stuff in there. It's not having a set of pliers or cutters or anything else. It's a nice starter socket set with some wrenches thrown in is what it is. Glock hates me, keeps biting my hand. I absolutely hate that company. I hate the people who own it and run it. I hate the design. I hate the takedown. I hate the way it feels. All of it. Jess Jessup says, have a great Thanksgiving. You too, sir. I hope everyone does, to be honest. Chaka says, spatch what? Spatchcock is when you cleave it down the center. You basically cut the spine out and you butterfly it so it's flat. And what that does is it allows a more even cooking, especially when you're smoking it, because rather than the smoke just going kind of around it, kind of touching it, it becomes like a board, so you get better access to the smoke.
I think Shaka knows what it is.
Yeah. Garrett says, has anyone tried 3-inch cordless polisher? I want to try it for polishing granite. I do. I have one. If you're in the area, you're welcome to borrow it. It's by Plutio. They send it to me. The company was a little weird, but sometimes that happens with these Chinese companies and translations and stuff. I haven't done anything else with them. I thought the polisher was just fine. It's super high powered. Honestly, I would want something bigger, I think, if I was going to polish granite with it, though. What about titanium welder? Titanium welders are fantastic, dude. Tommy Unfiltered asked that. Titanium welders are great. The only thing you got to watch out for is the runtime, because they're not a full-fledged professional tool. So they'll do the stuff they claim to do. The question is, and with welders, it's runtime, which is how long you can have it be active versus how long you have to let it sit on the bench and cool down. So just make sure you're paying attention to that. But I know lots of guys. There's a YouTuber who makes all sorts of great custom stuff, and he uses the titanium and the Vulcan welders, and he has a great And I can never remember his name, and I feel terrible. I'm so bad with names. Duncan, my son, is like... He's like a Rolodex for names and stuff. He never forgets.
Really is. And I'm
It's
like
spooky.
the opposite. When I meet someone, I'm like, I'm really bad with names. I apologize
You
ahead
should
of
wear a
time.
name tag.
Yes, I
all the
really do
time.
feel that way. Dr. Falcon, I'm not sure what happened. He said, sad day in the Falcon nest today. I am super sorry. I'm not sure what's going on, but
Oh.
we are sending good thoughts your way.
I'm so sorry. Fred says, had to say I sold my AR broomstick and my Ruger 6.5 broomstick. Right now, my back can't handle the weight. Oh my gosh! I still have a Henry 22 LR and a 12 gauge. That is because the ARs aren't that heavy. What is going on over there?
It's not me.
Really sorry about that. That is. Shut up, Moto. Yeah.
Marty Ellis with the $5 super chat. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too.
I hope that you do too. And I know Thanksgiving is kind of a hard time for some folks. So, you know where we are. You can always send us messages. I know that some of you guys have in the past. And, you guys are an amazing community. And you are our friends and family. So I hope that everyone has a safe Thanksgiving as well. And family.
And delicious.
And delicious. And family is family. So, if somebody's going to irritate you, maybe don't drink till you get home.
Do you know who's blowing up my phone?
Our son.
You. It was all the text messages you sent me before. Just came in. All ding, 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 ding.
Like an hour ago.
The cell service around here can be interesting.
One last thing. If you do drink, don't drive. There's a bajillion people that'll pick you up. There's somebody somewhere. Call someone.
Frank says, I'm not sure if I told you I have a new job 4 months now with 24 COVID days in there. That's awesome. Congratulations. Mark says, we have a Festool dealer just up the road. Any experience with them? Festool makes fantastic products. They just cost a whole lot of money. Everyone I know who's used them loves them, as I was just saying before. I did get hands-on with several of them. I went to a couple of their demo days, kind of stuff, and got to play with them. Great stuff. They're just really, really expensive.
Oh my gosh. Dr. Falcon, I am so sorry. He lost his wife today.
What?
I am so sorry. That is terrible. So I totally understand. I don't understand about losing your wife, but I understand about it not being great right now.
We are so sorry. We've known you through the channel for so long, and there are not words that I can say that will encompass this. I am terribly
so sorry.
for your loss.
Definitely reach out to us.
Yeah, if you need anything,
Yeah.
you know my email. Reach out to us. We'll talk. We'll set up a phone call or something. Because this time around the holidays and whatnot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
We got to catch up on these.
Yeah. I was not expecting that.
No. Thomas says, I bought the handheld Ryobi high pressure inflator for topping my HP bike tires. Love it. Inflated flat tire. 4 minutes, no problem. Jackal says, I never smoked turkey before, but I did smoke camels for 24 years. Fred says, I think California and New York are going down the drain. They've been spiraling for weeks, months, years. Icon 73 setup should be here January 4th. That's going to be a nice box. That is, you're going to like that. PT says, Cincinnati chili time. Nobody likes you, PT. Nobody sent me chili. Nobody loves me enough to send me chili. She went to Cincinnati. Did she bring me back chili? No.
I did eat it, though. I thought of you when I ate it.
Matt says, you got any recommendations for countersink bits for steel? I don't. But if anybody else does, put them down in the comments. I don't do a lot of like hardened steel kind of stuff, so I'm not sure what you would use for that. But and definitely don't do like the kind of finish level where you're going to be doing countersink bits. David says, rigid 18-volt handheld wet dry vacuum works great for sucking up dead or alive mice in the house.
Good to know. Good to know.
Is there still a line below Bauer? The Warrior line, and they're expanding it. We've seen more stuff coming out for it. Barbecue 76 says, you know too much about a sharp knife. I assume to use a power tool on a turkey. At least I thought you did. It's not about whether I know better to use it. It's whether it'd be fun. Paul C. Marie says, hey, Jeff. Curly says, what have you heard about the Hulk brand air compressors? They make solid air compressors. They do. I've talked to them at some trade shows. I've talked to some people who have them. A lot of people who have them really like them. They're very avid about them. Old guy says, I think the regular SIG P365 would be a great choice for a younger shooter because of its smaller size. I'm old and I love it. For a younger shooter, I'd go like 22 or maybe 380. The 9, if you're younger, then get, again, the biggest you can hold in the smallest caliber is always the best shooting. Of course, there's going to be choices of what I need to have in that caliber kind of thing. Matt says, leaf and yard cleanup all weekend. Couldn't find my electric blower. Oh, my inexpensive 18-volt Ryobi actually did well. With dry stuff, did I have to use a lot of batteries? Yes, but no cords.
Awesome.
Good for you. And Silent says, I have a steel demon, Diablo's steel demon for my 18-volt DeWalt circ saw. I want to get one for my 10-inch chop saw too. Yeah, they're fantastic. Fred says, haven't fired up my pit boss in a while. Need to fire it up. Have you done a ham yet? Thinking of doing pulled pork first. Ribs, I screwed it up. I always screw up ribs. I do. Pulled pork is always my go-to, but I'll be honest, I like to cook my pulled pork in a slow cooker. And I've had the pulled pork on the pit boss. I've had the pulled pork in a slow cooker. And what I do is I cook it in a slow cooker with all the stuff so it really seeps in. Then you take it out, put it on a cookie sheet, and then you finish it either on the pit boss or in a grill. Give it some crispness to it that adds texture then you roll it all back in together. So you get some soft, you got some crisp. It adds that kind of flavor, the smokiness to it. That's, I think, the best way to do it. You were trying to add something?
I was just going to say, everybody I know who does ribs, it kind of makes me feel like pancakes. Like the first pancake you make often is like kind of funky. Mm-hmm. And unless you make ribs like year round,
you gotta do it all the time.
First thing of ribs, people just sort of, they're not quite right. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't know anybody, you're right. I don't know anybody who's ever done ribs. And the first time I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Paul says, yeah, porter bands and horizontal 4x6s are a much better way to go. I wish I had space in the shop for a 4x6. I really do. Chips Kirk says, hi from Battle Creek, Michigan. How did you come up with the concept for Red Bear? Love the Tool Bear. Just sitting around brainstorming and coming up with something that would be different, that would be fun. I'm a huge believer in the concept of what's called infotainment, because if you can inform people while being entertaining and having fun with it, then people are more likely to actually retain that information. If you give stuff just dry info, it goes in one ear, it goes out the other. People never hear it. Mm-hmm. M. Henderson, I've been looking for a gun safe to get my father-in-law for Christmas. Do you have any suggestions? If you want a good, solid bang for the buck, Tractor Supply Black Friday sale. They always have the best bang for the buck. If you're looking for a high end, you're going to look at Liberty, something like that. If you're going to look for a low end, I hate to say it, but Harbor Freight. It's not as good as what used to be on there. If you saw my video on the Harbor Freight one, it's the same build, it's the same box, basically, but the fit and finish on my older one is just nicer. But they went out of business. They don't make that, or they didn't go out of business, but they stopped doing that budget level. Just not enough profit margin, and probably since Harbor Freight came out and killed the profit margin for them. So the Harbor Freight for the budget one, Tractor Supply for your best bang for the buck, like a Canon. And I had a Canon 40 gun, which is fantastic. And then you're going to look at Liberty for your higher end, and there on up. Paul says, biggest one you can carry in whatever mode you use. Yeah. Bart says, I'm a Makita fan, but bought my first DeWalt power tool last week, the massive DCD 470 hole saw, drill with a 9 amp hour flexible. Got a great deal for $300 for the kit. That thing it's got some power to it. Fred says, I like the double stack Smith & Wesson 9mm 4-inch barrel compact. Okay. I'm not a fan of I'll be honest, I hate to say it, but I'm not a fan of much in Smith & Wesson except for the revolvers. Jake says, what do you get when you cross a bear with a deer? A beer, of course. Something really angry with antlers. Frank says, I like thermometers from ThermoWorks. I've got the ThermoWorks for the, I think it's the ThermoWorks one for the meat thermometer. Tech Gorilla says, hey, Mama Bear. Levick says, your Deals of the Week video is costing me money, but saving you money. I tend to buy one tool almost every time you do a video. Grr. Oh, thanks. You know what? I do, too. I go through that. I'm like, I actually do kind of need that. And then she's like, what did you order? Nothing.
He's like, nothing. It was for the channel.
Someone sent it to me for free. Michael says, Harbor Freight dropped their Black Friday flyer today. I was underwhelmed. I'm not surprised. They rarely do a fabulous Black Friday. All the years I've been doing this, the Black Friday has always been like, meh. Fred says, I sold all my Springfield broomsticks. I used to have a bunch of Springfield stuff. I don't have any of it anymore. And I know a lot of people are anti-Springfield because of this, that, and the other thing. I just sold it because I upgraded to other stuff. The Atlas says, Snap-on and others make these Pelican TM0450 mobile tool case. It can be smaller. Have you heard if Harbor Freight is in the works on these? Hold on. Let me look it up. See what it is. Where'd my hat go? I had my hat in here just a second ago. I've not seen or heard of anything from Harbor Freight about that. What'd you do with my hat? There's my hat.
Obviously, I'm wearing your hat.
Hashtag not sponsored. You know who's been stealing this hat?
Eleanor. She loves that hat.
She's a little bugger.
Where did we go? We went somewhere. And she was like, I need to take a hat. And I was looking at her like, really?
Horseback riding.
Yes, it was horseback riding. They are taking horseback riding lessons from a super awesome family. And that is the hat that she wore.
Can you build that up to there for me? No, don't you even. I will use your good kitchen shears on the dog.
I don't think you should serve the dog for Thanksgiving.
I meant to trim her fur. Paul says, emissivity is a pain in the posterior with IR guns. Shiny stuff won't measure accurate. This is true. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I do understand that if it's shiny, you got to be careful with your
What's shiny?
Her crow DNA got triggered. Here, Levick says, do you teach CCW in Las Vegas as well? If so, I will sign up with you. I do not. I looked into it when we moved to Vegas. It's kind of a
saturated market.
That's not just a saturated market, but it's a good old boy kind of network. And they're talking
to
people.
Well,
I didn't really care because I'm really serious and really professional about teaching that kind of stuff. And the people I found there, the people who were offering it weren't. And I'm like, I don't want to work in that environment. Yeah. They're just kind of like, people come in and whatever happens. I'm like, no.
No, not whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever happens should not be part of
And she told me I should apply for a job as an armorer on some movie sets because I am the kind of bleepity bleep who will tell you no. I don't care what your position is. I don't care if you sign a paycheck. You're not touching this stuff because it's my job and I'm responsible for it.
Yep.
And that's what you need to have that kind of job or to be a CCW sir. You need to be able to be that kind of prick because it's people's lives are on this, at matter here. So, the Fred says my brother loves his Beretta. It was his service weapon. And Paul says, if you like peppery, try Glenfiddich. I've tried Glenfiddich. I'm not a fan of it. I don't drink scotch. Matt says, I have a bottle of Four Roses small batch, smooth and not too expensive. It's all right. It's not offensive. Anytime I drink Four Roses, my first thought is it's not offensive. And to me, bourbon should be a little bit of a kick in the pants because it's not scotch.
Okay. Calm down there.
Would you like to try a Colorado? What am I, Bugs Bunny now? Mm-hmm. Colorado whiskey, milk or dark?
I don't know what that means, but I don't drink whiskey, so.
I've never heard that term, and I've made whiskey. I've written books on it. I'm always willing to try new whiskey. And but I don't know what milk or dark means. The Zaffio says Home Distillers Workbook and Brewing, https://www.dentils. By the way, hey, more expensive than on Amazon. Is it really? Is it? What do you mean? How is it more expensive? Did Amazon discount my book?
No, if it was more expensive on
more
Amazon,
expensive,
then
okay.
it would go the other way. We're tired. We've had a super long week.
Yes. And it's the ebook that's on, so you can download it, read it on your phone or on your PC, that kind of thing. I will say this: we did add sweatshirts back in, so we now have sweatshirts, and they do go up to 5X polar bear sizes. Now we have a pullover hoodie like you've seen me wear here, and we've also got the zip up. Now the zip up, I believe, is embroidered, and it just has the patch above the breast there. The other one has the patch there. It's standard silk screen, and then it's got the big emblem on the back as well. So a lot of people have been like, when are you going to get these back in? I had to find a new supplier. We got it. So those are on the website. You can purchase them now. Of course, free shipping this time of the year only, except for every other week of the year. Always free shipping at the Den Tools. Shameless plug. Hey, folks, the Bears have a life. Zap says, you should give away your signed books once in a while. That's a great idea. I don't know why we didn't think of that. We should definitely do that. Thanks. Maybe that's something we'll do over the holidays. We figured if we had more of these tablets, we'd give those away.
Yep.
I shouldn't have said something. Now people are like, I want to sign up for the tablet giveaway. All right. Scorpion Sunday. Hey, Scorp says, hello, Bear family. Barbecue 76. I'm still checking the email for my banana bread. Pretty sure you said you were going to send it, and I was covered shipping. Yeah. I'm still waiting.
I actually sent an email.
I'm still waiting on a whole bunch of stuff, so get in line.
I sent an email.
Is it next to my chili?
No, I ate your chili. It's not next to your chili. Barbecue 76, I did send you an email.
Steven says, I'll take a tablet. Frank says, at our Wally World, we couldn't find the tablets for nothing. I am so sorry. That's the thing with Walmart is like, a lot of times the people there will be like, oh, this is a great deal. And they'll hide them. They'll call their friends and be like, you got to come pick these up. And
I was really surprised that there were still some at ours, but they must have gotten a lot.
Barbecue 76 says, don't know why the heck I put email in. Stupid autocorrect, but I'm still checking my mail. Okay. Tech Gorilla says, if you used a PC hooked up to a big screen in the living room with a wireless keyboard and mouse, you won't ever look back. I've done that, and I don't care for it. And I've been doing that for years, and off and on. And
I kind of like it.
You like it. She likes it when we are like doing stuff like searching for houses, doing research together, planning trips. Did you tell them about the trips to Paris?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, which you won't. Anyway, because they're all for us. $175 each way.
If you go in a couple months, it could be like $155
each way, flying from
San Fran, but they also fly from other destinations. I haven't checked what the prices would be like if you were going from the East Coast. But
$350 to Tahiti. What's Tahiti? What was it? Rarotonga.
It was
somewhere in the South Pacific that you want to go, especially during the cold times. All right, I got to catch up. I'm way behind.
Yeah. I will be right back, and then you'll catch up while I'm gone. It'll be fantastic. I just knocked something over. Excuse me.
What did you break?
A 2-liter. That is my grace and charm for the evening.
Oh my God.
It wasn't
a 2-liter. I didn't see any of it, but I felt all of it.
Nice.
Totally unscripted, always professional. On the tools, after that dance number. Oh my gosh, I needed that to lighten up the mood. Fred says, can you believe we bought a second 17 cubic inch foot freezer from Home Depot? Can you believe we get it delivered Tuesday? If she had her way, we'd have 3 of them in the basement, lined up like coffins. Like there's undead living down there. She would. I kid you not. When she gets back, we'll ask her. The Jackal says, Finally committed to a cordless tool line. I'm glad. I'm so happy for the two of you. I hope you have a long, wonderful life together. Tough choice between teams yellow, red, and teal. Did my research, watched numerous YouTube channels, compared the brands, and went with Team Teal. Team Teal! Team Teal for the win. Fred says there is no supply chain. Yeah, it's pretty much broken, laying on the ground, twitching. If you heard, MSNBC figured it all out. They said the issue with the supply chain is racism. Because get this, the problem is there's too many white drivers and that they won't hire black drivers because black drivers only account for something like, I think it is 27% of the drivers for over-the-road trucking. Now, if you remember, the black population in the United States is like 12 to 15%. So almost double that in the driver. They won't hire black drivers, but they outnumber the general proportion of the racism. Its answer is always racism. Always. Could you please tell me the difference on the job site of the two different Makita cordless circ saws on the sale at Home Depot on the job site? Why would you pick one over the other? Dude, I'm sorry. I don't remember. I've moved on since then. The two different Makita cordless circ saws. I think one was a rear handle 36 volt and like the other one was like a standard 18 volt, if I'm not mistaken, is the difference. Michael says, remember my project of using power tool batteries off list? Seems a bunch of ham radio guys like the idea. Oh yeah, that's a big thing for them. Also, Michael, I am trying to work a deal with Any Cubic to get you a 3D printer, one of the whatchamacallit ones. Not the. My brain has shut down from the MSLA. I can do this. Hold on, I need bourbon clearly, and my phone's beeping at me. Oh my gosh. Okay, whitetail have got me in a not whitetail, mule deer. Whitetail, yeah. That mule deer got me in a tizzy today. Cannot believe. Just as I was taking that shot, the wind, ice cold wind, right in my eyeball. Couldn't see a freaking thing. Oh. Dutch says, Den Tools, just got denied at AutoZone when I tried to take back my Duralast screwdriver. Woman said they won't warranty without a proof of purchase when it literally says guaranteed forever. Oh, you ran into somebody who's having a day. I have never had. So I did those returns. That is ridiculous. That is completely ridiculous. It's not like somebody else sells Duralast. Bring back the bell. God, we just can't make everyone happy. I wish there was some way. I did the whole thing like, should we do deals of the week? Should I sort it by categories or should I sort it by stores? I thought we'd get a concise answer. Almost straight down the middle. I want it by categories. I want it by stores. I'm just going to roll the dice random assortment. Any M12 deals coming? Honestly, I don't know if there's going to be any more better deals than we've had. We've had some fantastic M12 deals. I don't know if there's going to get anything better. If you've been waiting, you've missed the boat. I'm sorry, but there's been some fantastic M12 deals. Go look at my Home Depot videos. Just amazing stuff. Fred says, so a lot of people are watching container ships off LA shore, LLL.
Yep.
Yeah, have you seen the link I posted with some of the videos I did that show you the live stuff? You can watch live all the container ships. It's kind of fun. Scary. Fun. Catch some fish and fry them. Oh, yeah. Too cold for me to go fishing. I've done the fishing in the snowstorm here in Montana before. Oh, can't feel your fingers.
You don't need fingers.
Fred says turkey fryers are a lot of people have set in their yard and house on fire. Yeah, if you are going to fry, you need to fully thaw it, and then you got to pat it down dry. Because if you don't, there's moisture in there. That moisture is basically water, and water and oil They don't play well together.
No.
Does not play well with others.
That's right.
Where has Blue been? I've been holding off Blue. I'm waiting for the first big cold snap to hit. By the way, I've been meaning to tell you, let me know if you see a news headline saying big cold snap about to hit the entire U.S. kind of thing. Because that's when I'm going to release my next heaters deals video.
It's coming.
Winter's coming. Yes,
That's
we know.
right. Zaffiel, $2 super chat.
Yeah.
Obvious solution is to bring back the bell. Make girlfriend unhappy. I hear you.
Again.
Yep.
Just got the Husky 30-piece ratcheting set. Thomas says, what toolbox organizers do you like? You're going to hate me. I don't like toolbox organizers except for Kaizen foam. And I also, by the way, what is the name on these bicarms? Is there a name on them? Because mine sucks.
Apparently they're in shame. That's why they don't label them. They don't have a name on them.
A whole metal piece, literally fell out of the middle elbow joint on mine. And now it won't stay up, and it slowly sinks down. So I apologize. Tech Gorilla, duty cycle. Yes. Fred says, with my big ham hacks, I hate light pistols. Light pistols, I'm guessing what he's saying there. Fred had said something else. What was it, Fred? Oh, Fred said, would you believe we just bought yet a second 17-inch cubic freezer?
I could totally believe that.
Why?
Because you always need more freezer.
I told them if I let you, you'd have them lined up in the basement like coffins.
Absolutely.
See?
Yep.
Dear Falcon, oh, we talked about that. I have no words.
Yeah.
Mike says, don't feel bad on remembering names. I'm thankful my job issues name tags on lanyards or keep me from my own nowadays. Yeah. I'm sorry. And who are you? Oh, just a second. Let me check. Yeah, that's me. Let's see here. Fred says, turkey is out of the freezer and into the fridge. We bought 2 big turkeys. They were on sale. Whoever that was, I'm sorry you lost your wife. Thank you.
Yep, Dr. Falcon.
Tech Grill says a fine moment of silence. There is nothing else. Oh my gosh. Let me see here. Where was I? Fred says, great idea. Make some chili and beef stew.
Oh, yeah, there's a chili cook-off
That's
coming
a
up.
great idea. Gosh, if I get this freaking deer, make some deer stew. I will say this. If you're in Bozeman at the Baja, which is the Bozeman Amateur Hockey Association Arena,
Yes.
they have some decent pulled pork chili. I was stunned. It's not cheap. It's $6 for a bowl, but we were sitting there freezing your you-know-what off. By the way, Griffin he was at a hockey goalie clinic this weekend. He's joined the goalie cult. I played goalie for 2 years.
Yep.
It was okay. My problem is I played for a really good team. I would skate in circles. I would read books, take a nap. Just, I very seldom had to deal with the puck because I got a lot of shutouts.
Yeah. Griffey is super into hockey.
Hold on. I got to look this up. Someone said, I'm living in the 805. 805 area code. Where is that? Is that Cali?
That's where I was thinking.
Going back to Cali.
San Luis Obispo?
Oh. Yeah, being in Cali sucks, but being in San Luis Obispo, it could be worse. Let's be honest. It's a beautiful place. Michael says, I'm using a linear-shaped charge to cleave a turkey in a microsecond. I want to see a pic of that.
Yep.
Frank says, I know you like the multi-tool. Is that your pocket knife, or do you have another option? I rarely carry a multi-tool on me. I carry pocket knives on me because I just need a good solid blade. Multi-tools, I have them everywhere. I have them, I usually have one on my desk. I bet if you move all that hat and stuff, I bet there's a multi-tool under there. If not, it's in that's my glasses.
I know. I thought it was one of the Little's glasses.
I keep one in the truck. We have in both vehicles. We have one in both vehicles. I just leave them all. They're just too heavy to carry although the Skeletool is not bad. The scale tool is the closest I would come as to one I would actually carry because it's got a decent blade on it.
I don't carry a multi-tool, but I do carry those Work Pro knives.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, we do. Everyone who's seen them loves them. Charles says, what is your recommendation on a power tool brand to go with for the price? Looking to start my collection this weekend. Really open-ended question. Depends on what you're going to do. If you're a pro, if you're a prosumer, if you're just like, amateur DIY hour kind of stuff. A lot of it depends on where you shop kind of stuff. If you're shopping at Home Depot, on the budget level, I would go Ryobi. On the pro version, I would go Milwaukee. Honestly, not a fan of the Rigid stuff. Rigid is a good power tool, but they don't know who they want to be. They keep changing it. I feel they lie about the LSA. I've had issues myself. I've seen so many people who have had issues. I won't even promote Rigid at this point because of that. And the same with Porter Cable when it was still a thing. And Porter Cable was a joke. Black & Decker is a joke. DeWalt, if you're looking at DeWalt, as I said, only if you're a pro looking at the XR or maybe the 12 volt or the Atomic series for DIYers or pros. Makita makes a fantastic tool, but again, more pro kind of stuff. For the budget, you cannot not like Cobalt. Cobalt is a fantastic tool. The XTR is even a step above it. The skill line, the 12 volt and the 20 volt are great tools. The Bauer is a great DIYer level tool. I have a huge selection of Bauer stuff. I will say this, full disclosure, we're going to start running, that's one thing. I've always been 100% full disclosure on what I bought, what people sent me.
Yeah.
There's more and more channels these days that they're lying about whether they get free tools or not. And it is really depressing because, hold on, I'm going to sit up for this. I get so many people who say, you're just pardon me. I have to sit up to be indignant. I get so many people who come over from other channels like, you're just a shill for Harbor Freight. I'm like, I know the guy that you're promoting here, who's your fanboy for, and he's sitting there with DeWalt tools. DeWalt sent out a pack this past month or two ago, sent out a pack of their new Impact stuff, and they sent it to a whole bunch of YouTubers. And I know of only one YouTuber who said, and DeWalt sent me these. All the other ones just didn't mention it.
I feel like a lot of people, like, when you're a kid, at some point you have to learn that a lie of omission is a lie. And I feel like...
Well, it just blows me away because they're like, you're a shill. A shill is somebody who doesn't tell you what's going on. They don't tell you they're in on the game, that they're actually there to convince you that everything's okay. People who get free tools and don't tell you that is by definition a shill. Okay, I'm a little indignant about it, and I'm really disappointed because a lot of people were people I thought were trustworthy. Shows you how the game's played.
Yeah,
and it's not just a thing about ethics. It's a violation of the rules at YouTube. I mean, that is whatever it is, but it's also against the law at a federal level.
Yep. Dr. Falcon says, does Jess walk much? I don't now. When we were in Vegas, I had a girlfriend that I would walk with.
When we lived in California.
And we lived in California. I haven't found my place here to go walking. In Vegas, there's just a lot of places in California.
You usually need a buddy to go walking with, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. So I do like having a buddy. And my girlfriend in Vegas, we would go super early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And she was crazy enough to do it with me. And I loved it. But I don't have somebody here. And it's cold and it's dark. And I don't want to get ate by a bear by myself.
I was going to say, that's not going to happen in town. But they killed was it a black bear in town? Or was it a brown bear?
I think it was a brown bear.
They killed a brown bear in town here, and they got a black bear in Bozeman, in town.
Oh, last week before, they had to go catch the moose in the Target parking lot.
That was right.
I was like, a moose All right.
So we'd picked up Duncan. He'd flown in from Vegas, and he landed at midnight. And I'm like, I'm not driving the pass in the howling wind and the cold at night coming back. We're going to get a hotel in Bozeman. If you come to central Montana and you're looking for hotels, I can talk.
Hotels.
A hotel to stay at. It's called the Come On In, C''MONN. It sounds cheesy as heck. Imagine if you imagine if the architect who did Embassy Suites had a child with the architect who did Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops.
Yep.
And he got a job working for a hotel company. Because it's like that. Literally, the inside of it is a 3-level atrium with a peaked roof. And it's got a mountain.
Like exposed
with,
beams.
With stuffed animals and 6 hot tubs around it. No, it's got 4 hot tubs. Or 6 hot tubs. It's got way more hot tubs than you expect. And then at the end, there's another glassed-in, full-wall glass chamber that's got the swimming pool with a waiting pool and a hot tub. And all the rooms that are on the inside have balconies facing the atrium that you can hang out on, except
With
after
seating.
11. What?
With seating.
With seating. Nice seating.
Yeah.
Like, it is when you come to Montana and you're like, I want to stay at someplace that makes me feel like I'm in Montana without spending $500 a night to stay at some, like, ranch or something. And it's cheaper than most of the hotels in town.
Yeah,
and it comes with a free breakfast. And Wi-Fi.
Yep.
And parking. And it's right next to the Outback. Which
Right.
is not fantastic, but it's an Outback.
Yep.
Anyway, gotta stay there.
Zaffiel, $5 super chat. Confession time. My channel gets free tools. Just found a Craftsman Pro screwdriver on the highway last week. Telling you for full disclosure. Zaffiel, and that's why we love you. Because
Zaffiel,
you're honest.
All my respect.
That's
for
right.
being 100% transparent.
That's right.
I support your channel.
And I support picking up free tools you find on the highway.
Speaking of which, and I know we've been very bad about it because we cut the time down to 2 hours and now we don't do the whole shout out kind of thing. If you've got a channel, especially you mods and stuff, post a comment right now and give people links to your channel because finding if you got a smaller channel, let's be honest, it can be hard to find them.
Yeah.
YouTube does not help small channels.
Nope.
And so post it right now. And if you're a viewer, go and check them out. These people do. I mean, everyone with the Cobalt blue wrench behind their name, they're a mod here, and they do this for free. And I really appreciate their help. They keep out all the trolls and answer questions we can't get to, and do all sorts of great
So
stuff.
they have great content.
But also, some people just like to share some time and have some. Mater's Workshop, he does some great content. And I'm not saying that just because he promised to give me a free Harley. I mean, he did, but
Full disclosure.
full disclosure, no. No, he didn't.
Yeah. But, sorry, go ahead.
Matt had asked if I've ever done a bourbon cranberry sauce, and I'm going to say no, because the only thing I use cranberries for is for ammo for slingshots.
Cranberries
not.
are delicious.
I hate
Oh
cranberry,
my gosh.
but they're great for zapping at people, especially the really ripe ones,
Okay.
like paintballs.
Bourbon cranberry sauce sounds amazing.
How about we just take the cranberry, throw that away, and have bourbon sauce?
No. Okay, that was very...
My daughter she says she's going to start doing TikTok videos. So she put TikTok on my phone, and that's the TikTok chime.
Yep.
I got to find a way to kill that thing.
I know that you're trying to catch up. I did just want to remind folks, if you have a channel... He wonders why it's broken. He uses his face. That would be why. If you have a channel that you haven't seen in a while on YouTube...
Yeah.
You might have gotten unsubscribed. It's happened to us. We have gotten unsubscribed from channels.
I get unsubscribe from people all the time.
So, if you haven't seen content in a while, go check it out. And again, you guys have great channels. So recommend somebody, recommend yourself. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of deals, I looked over, I saw my little stash of flashlights over here. Olight has a sale coming up this week. So if you've been waiting for the big Olight Black Friday sale, it's coming up Wednesday, I think.
Is this mine?
No, that's my Airbender flashlight. I should give that away. I never use it.
I won! Sorry.
We have all sorts of stuff that I give away. And
I'm
either
just
give away,
kidding.
I should give it to people. But then she gets upset. She's like, I want it. Like this thing. That thing. You're never going to use that.
Well, it's in your office.
You're never going to use it.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
I totally want it.
Then take it home with you.
Okay. It's going in my purse right now.
Anyway, a screwdriver set. Yeah, she's totally going to use that.
I totally am.
Yeah, as a pry bar. Tech Gorilla says baby backs. In foil, in the oven, 12 hours, 125, then grilled to color. When the bones twist out, you're good. I understand all that. I understand it on a technical level. I fully understand how to make baby back ribs. Every time I do it, it never comes out right. Mark says, we smoked a leg of lamb this summer. It was memorable. Oh, that would be interesting. DR Falcon says, my ex-wife. Oh, he's talking to Mike. Sorry. Frank says, I can make ribs for 30 years. Wow. Tech Girl says, Mike Rosen, how do you find papers to roll whole turkey? Oh, that's terrible. Terrible. Thomas says, doing my bird on a char grill rotisserie. Can't wait. That sounds tasty.
Steven.
Michael says, infotainment, is that along the lines of live and direct Network 23 old TV show reference? No, it's an old educational concept. I've done a lot of education stuff in my careers where I've had to teach people how to use stuff and whatnot. So it's been something I've learned.
Stephen Deswan with a $2 super chat. Shut up, TikTok and Moto. That's right. We need a TikTok Moto thing now.
Tech Gorilla says, Harbor Freight is persona non grata. Oh my gosh. Did they do bad things to you? Infernal Craftsman says, check out my rib video on a pellet grill. It's easy, comes out the same every time. Add a little Woodford's Reserve. Then when you wrap them, the flying half makes an appearance too.
Ooh.
Oh, he switched things there. Look at that.
Yep.
Crafty. I see that. I see you there. Fred says, we're going to buy a quarter beef. The friend we're going to buy it from said he has problems with finding a slaughterhouse. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm guessing. They're into beginning of next year. I have a Liberty Love. Oh,
processors, yeah.
We have a local ranch up here. Did you see how much I paid for those steaks I just bought?
No, I asked the children. They said they didn't go in with you.
No, 85 cents a pound.
Shut up. Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Receipt or it didn't happen.
It's right on the package.
No.
New York strips and ribeyes. Local grass-fed. Shut up, Moto.
Local grass-fed shut up, Moto?
Yeah. And farm-raised. Hand to phone. Jers Nate says, Bama Bass, Crimson Oak Pond looking good. Took their first boat voyage on the pond. When they put the bass in, I want to see the bluegill down there. I have been following that build like a hawk.
Our whole family has.
I love it. I wish I had a pond like that in my backyard. I will say this though, I don't know if down at deep South Bama they get the sandhill cranes, but so Meat Eater. If you don't watch Meat Eater is one of my favorites because here's what I love about Meat Eater. He takes you out on a hunt, and if he misses and he gets blanked, he shows it to you. It's not like one of these ones like we went out every hunt we get a trophy elk. Oh, nice editing. He shows you really what's really like to go out and do a hunt. Because I've been out there hunting in the mountains and stuff around here. Those are real hunts. Like what you see in the film, that's what it really feels like. And then once he gets it, he shows you how to clean it. He shows you how to cook it, and that's fantastic. Because I'll be honest, I grew up, with duck hunting and stuff like that, and I've never really cared much for duck. And until I learned how to cook duck properly. And a lot of this food, like a friend of mine hates speed goats, and you got to pronghorn American antelope, and you've got to cook it right, and you've got to clean it right. And the same thing with venison. A lot of people don't like venison. It's the opposite of beef. You got to get all that fat off there. The fat is what makes it taste gamey. You want to go for the lean stuff. You want to cook it medium rare to the rare side, that kind of stuff. It's fantastic. Don't go raw. Even my dog.
Yes.
Worst hunting dog ever. I'm cooking venison. I've chopped it up. I got a little strip of something that's not good enough to go in the skillet, so I toss over the shoulder to her. She watches it like this.
She watches it land. She's like...
she looks at me. She goes, that's not cooked. I like it medium rare to medium, please. A little bit of salt.
Yeah. She's like, That's raw. That's not cooked.
It's a freaking black lab, won't eat raw meat. So I picked it up, put it to the side. When I got done cooking everything else, I cooked it, let it cool, and then gave it to her.
And she was thrilled.
Delicious.
It was excellent. Hiram Bifton, I am so sorry. $2 super chat says, how'd my $6.13 super chat get missed? I don't know. I was away for a moment, and someone.
She's super chat girl. I don't even look at the super chats because I know that's your thing.
So I am so sorry. If there was an amazing comment in there, I missed it. So please send it again to me. You don't have to do the super chat again, but tell me what you said and I'll say it. I'm so sorry. I tried to find it. It had,
there it is.
Oh, you should see the way I stabilized that Troy built generator on my Facebook page at Ben. I don't even know how to say that. I swore I'd make a video on how to do it 100% modular.
That sounds cool.
That sounds really cool. Send me a link.
All right. Catch up time. Frank goes, I missed the doggo for the live streams. I know since we do it in the shop, she doesn't like coming down here to the shop so much. Too many things on the floor that would hurt her little paws. I don't like her down here that much either. Charles says, what's your best recommendation, a brand to go to for price and quality starting the collection? I started to talk about that, but I think I skipped. No, I did. I talked about Cobalt, and I think we covered that mostly. Trevor Baumgartner says, Dad Den Tools, howdy. Matt says, you know how to catch a polar bear? Cut a hole in the ice pond, spread a can of peas around the hole. When the bear goes to take a pee, kick it in the ice hole. You're
nice.
a bad man.
Nice.
Fred says, my garage floor is done, so we're going to be moving everything back in. We finally sold my late mother's-in-law's house. Congrats. Yeah. Also, glad to hear that you're up and around and doing better, by the way. We closed November 29th, full asking price. That's nice.
Awesome.
Trevor says, should I get the Milwaukee line? I'm tired of my cordless tools being underpowered. Milwaukee, DeWalt XR, Makita, Cobalt XTR, all of those are going to be high-power tools. And the Flex stuff, too. And if you buy Flex now, remember, you get that founder warranty, lifetime warranty on it. Scorpion says, I like Knob Creek Special 100 proof. I've not had the 100. I have the 107. It's a little hot. I might like the 100 because the 107 is a little hot. Just a little to the point where you're starting to be like, I can't taste the flavor because it's so hot. Usually between like 92 up to 107 those are my ranges. I don't like anything below or above that. The Orange Businessman says, first time commenting, do you have an opinion? I always have opinions.
Oh my gosh,
on
his
Icon
opinions
14-piece wrench set for professional use. Except on that one. I will say this, I like a lot of the Icon stuff. The ratcheting wrenches, they're my favorite ratcheting wrenches above all others. The standard wrench set, it's good, but it's very similar to a lot of the other ones that I've seen out there. It looks very similar to what's the one at Napa? I forgot the name of it, guys. What's the Napa brand? It's not Capri. It's very similar to that. Capri makes a good wrench. Gear Wrench makes some decent ones. Tecton makes some decent wrenches. I'd be happy with all of those. The Icon are fun. Here's the nice thing about Icon. If you buy an Icon
SK?
and you have a warranty issue.
Oh.
No, SK's.
Carlisle?
Carlisle? Carlisle is the one at Napa. And I like those. But the nice thing about Harbor Freight is if you have to warranty it, you can go to any of over 1,000 Harbor Freight. If Harbor Freight's near you, then that's a great way to go. Fred says, sorry, milk or dark chocolate covered cherries. Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Milk.
I'm like, I've never heard whiskey referred to as
milk. Milk chocolate.
You know what? I wonder if they make dark chocolate milk duds.
That would be
That'd be tasty.
No.
All right. Frank says, what about very big shine-on sweatshirts? 5X is the biggest I could find. I'd look for 6 or 7. Oh, the shine-on ones. You know, Frank, I will add that. I will add that this week. Remind me, I'll try and add that tomorrow.
I'm going to write a message.
I should definitely add a shine-on one. You're right about that. I do like that. She's wearing the shine-on.
I love this one. It's my favorite.
I love the whole retro kind of thing. I'm a little old school about a lot of stuff. It's really weird because I'm very cutting edge on a lot of tech, but I also like my tech to be very discreet.
As Eleanor would say, you're really old.
Michael says, do shine formulas work as small batches? Something can be done in an apartment kitchen to produce a quart or so of output. Yes, they totally can. And I have done so. I even did, when I wrote my book, I was living in a small house. It was a converted barge turned into a houseboat kind of thing in Northern California. And it was a tiny kitchen, and I showed doing it with a kitchen, a tea kettle. You can do it all. You can do it as small or as big as you want to go. Mark says, steak chili or ground meat chili? Well, if I'm having like Texas style chili, I'd like steak chili. If I'm having Cincinnati chili, I want ground meat chili. Sean says, love the bear. Thanks. Thank you, Sean. Zap says, what about vaccine mandates? I almost lost my job, but I was granted a religious exemption. I will tell you, I'm vaccinated. She's vaccinated. I think vaccine mandates are about as evil as it gets. In this country where we talk about freedoms and the way the government has crossed lines, I am about as mad can be. You have no idea. We don't talk politics much on this channel. I try to avoid it, but I can tell you, I'm spitting mad at this point. Just unbelievable. And I grew up as a lifetime Iowa Democrat. All right. And I've always considered myself very liberal. And the people today, they're not liberals. That's a lie. It's a flat out lie. I'm liberal. They're kooky cultists. Brent says, the lag on wireless keyboards and mice and the resolution rate on larger TVs makes me cringe. Brent, I will say this. The old up to 1080p, that was true. But once you hit 4K, I'm sitting in front of a 4K monitor right now. 4K is when that resolution becomes crisp enough that text is and small icons and stuff are legible. 4K is where we cross that threshold. As far as lag, I can't help you there. Fred says, isn't that sad the way San Francisco is right now? We have a good friend who grew up in San Francisco, and she was a good girl. She did the right things. She got good grades in school. She saved every penny. She went to college. She got a good job. She worked her butt off, and she bought the house right behind where her mother grew up. Her friends in the family owned that house. This is out in the avenues, if you know San Francisco. And she bought that house and lived there so she could take care of her parents as they got older and live the life that she had growing up. Once she got married and had kids, she's been so disgusted with what happened to San Francisco that, was it 2 years ago?
A couple of years ago, yeah.
She took her whole family and they moved to Montana.
Yep.
It is... Everyone I know who is old school San Francisco hates it. Absolutely hates it. What do you think of Bullet 10-year? I've never had the 10-year. I'm not a fan of Bullet. Now, Bullet made popular the whole concept of small barrel aging. And the point of small barrel aging is if you have a big barrel, you have X amount of whiskey to X amount of wood. You make a smaller barrel, and that ratio gets, the wood ratio to whiskey ratio, the wood gets larger. So basically, the idea is it ages faster because it's got higher wood to whiskey ratio. And that part is true. And I'm the person who invented the concept of express aging using what's called, instead of when they put whiskey in, or alcohol in a barrel, it's called, either wine or whiskey in wood versus wood. The system I developed, which is called wood in whiskey, and wood in wine, which Gallo stole my whole concept, and they now do all their wines using wood veneers in the alcohol. So I'm the guy who came up with that concept of trying to do that kind of thing. But there is something about it that you can't, there's a time thing that happens and we're not sure exactly what it is that causes it, but you cannot rush it. You can do lots of stuff to make it close, but time still wins. So I'm not a huge fan of Bullet. I've not tried the Bullet 10-year. I will try it though, based on your question here. So, Michael says MSNBC could not find their buns with 2 hands in an inspection mirror. They are straight up. They're like the Khmer Rouge, as far as I'm concerned. David Gert, 23 transported to hospital. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I should hope it's some old dude who didn't know where the accelerator was. If this was somebody trying to lash out about, I've heard
about
so
whatever.
many lies
Yeah.
about Kilo Romeo and the whole thing. Somebody from what's that one? That British, the Independent, said it was because, he shot 3 black men.
Okay,
Nobody who was shot or that shot was black. They're just lying about the facts.
Okay, we're not going to go down there. We're going to.
For those of you wondering, I definitely followed this one closely. I also looked at the one that's going on down south that's going on. It's the opposite kind of case. We can figure, well, maybe we'll do a video over on the Bears Den and have a chat about that. But that one's going to go bad for the defendants.
Yeah.
They did a bad thing.
Power Tools for Beginners says, "Hey, Big Bear, shout out from Tijuana, Mexico.
Tijuana, I've been there.
Say hi to the missus for me. Good to see you both together." Hi. I thought we were going to high five there for a hot second.
No.
What? Later, he's going to have an accident while he's sleeping.
Blessed and happy. Oh, I love that name. You were absolutely right about the infotainment. Remember Schoolhouse Rock? I'm 16. I still remember the stuff I learned. That's right. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yep.
You're echoing a little. Gain too hot. I'd like to sell one of my 3D printers, too. Really? I have so many 3D printers. Don't ask me.
Marine X with a $5 super chat. No more politics, please.
All right.
I agree. Yep.
If we could afford it, we'd buy half of a cow. I've been thinking about working with some of the local ranchers up here and trying to do some sort of like quarter and half cow deals with the audience. We should figure that out for the holidays. Mm-hmm. Michael says that'd be handy. Many thanks in advance. Sold my soul to rock and roll. What's one more? Shooting glasses are your friend, Mark says. Oh, yes.
Yep.
Ed C says, how about a visual bell like the old Batman TV shows? Pow,
wham.
That's a great idea. What did I tell you?
Back at the Hall of Justice. What? Who was that?
I like that visual bell idea. Tech Girl says, refry turkey fryers. It's the displacement and oil expansion that causes accidents. That's what she said. Gary says there's no driver shortage, just a driver retention problem. Nobody likes to pay the hours. It's a hard job, and being away from your family sucks. I've driven over the road, but not like for pay and kind of stuff. I've done a lot of driving, cross-country driving. I hate doing cross-country driving. I hate driving at night. I couldn't do that job. That is a terribly hard job. Mm-hmm. Paul says, Ernst for toolbox organizers, Vim, Magrail, XLs for sockets. I'm going to have to go with the socket rails. I'm going to have to. The system I have right now is just taking up too much space. Hiram says, how did my super check? Oh, we talked about that one. Fred says, I'm afraid with the cost to heat the home this winter, I see people dying because their heaters with stuff that shouldn't be in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every year I talk to people and people are like, oh, you're not right about that. Every year it still happens. Fred says, believe it or not, we have a curling club here. I would always wanted to try curling and I never have. Hiram says, cool. I prefer the Leatherman Wave. A lot of people do. Not my thing. Michael says, I'm joined to the hip with the Swiss Army knife. So handy in Iraq. Fixed a lot of stuff with it. Waiting for the Swiss Navy knife to become popular. Yeah, the Swiss and their Navy. Jess gets answered and says, thanks for doing what you do. Always full of useful info. Thank you, sir, for being here. Or ma'am, or whoever you are. Dean says, have a great night and Thanksgiving. Try that Early Times or Cooper's Craft Bourbon. I've had Early Times before. Cooper's Craft, that sounds familiar. Beckmister says, random orbital sander. I have the DeWalt and Milwaukee batteries and chargers already. Then stick with that. If I'm a big fan of corded when it comes to that. If you want cordless, then stick with whatever cordless system you have. Get brushless because otherwise it will just chew through batteries. Halon says, the stream brought to you by Leatherman X1000 multi-tool. That has it all. Saw, we got it. A knife, we got pliers, we got it.
Johnny's with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Hey, love the channel. Knipex or Doyle, in your opinion? I have Knipex, but they beat up looking for replacements. Thank you.
You can't go wrong with Knipex, especially when you get them on sale. They're a fantastic tool, but they're not cheap. If you get the Doyle on sale, for the average DIYer and for even the Value Pro, they're fine. I have both. And I have Tecton also. And the Tecton and the Doyle, they're like brothers, man. They're so close. I'm not sure. Tech Gorilla says the Torque Test channel is the king of unbiased reviews, as is Project Farm. I'm going to disagree with that. Project Farm definitely has some bias. And people say, well, if if tools don't get sent to you, then you're unbiased. That's not true. That's not true at all. There's a lot of places that people have bias. Just because they got something sent to them doesn't mean they don't have bias. I have called out tools. People have paid me money to review their stuff, and I've totally said, this thing's junk, don't buy it. So somebody who's unbiased or can get past it or at least tell you about it, that's one thing. There are a lot of people I've seen. I like Project Farm. I watch Project Farm, but he's clearly got a bias against Harbor Freight. He did his wet dry vac video. The Harbor Freight definitely came in at number 2, right under the DeWalt. Best for the money by far. And at the end he goes, but don't buy that, buy the Craftsman instead. There was no reason for that. The Craftsman didn't live up to it. It didn't score the same scores. He's like, but the warranty's better. Is the warranty better? Do they actually cover the warranty? Do they actually stand behind that warranty? Because from what I've seen, they don't. And, and if as what's the old Tommy Boy thing is, if you want me to do a bleepy bleep in a box and slap a label or slap a warranty on it, I can do that. So just because somebody doesn't pay for the tools doesn't make them unbiased. Everyone's got bias. The question is, are they open up front about the bias? Torque Test channel, they're pretty unbiased because they just basically, and I've talked to them and I've called them out, and that's I think why they started the second column of just basically the raw numbers divided by the price. Because the first one has a lot of subjective stuff in it. And I'm like, subjective is bias. Okay? The whole fact that you're rating them based on what the manufacturers advertise as, that's a bias. You're pissed off at manufacturers for claiming numbers. I basically never believe manufacturers. I'm like, advertisers lie. They all do. So I never even look at those numbers. I go, is it a quality tool? Does it do what I need it to do? Is the price point right? And and you can ask them. They and I have talked about it, and I still love their channel. I watch their channel. I watch Project Farm, and but they give you all the numbers. So they give you all the numbers, and then at the end, they're like, this is what we saw. Here's the bias. Here's the one that's got some bias in it. Here's the one that doesn't have any bias in it. It's all raw numbers. And that's what I really love about Torque Test channel. But anyway, I've talked about this one before, and everyone gets all butthurt when I say that Project Farm is biased. Doesn't mean I don't like him, but don't sit there. And he's never claimed. He has never claimed he doesn't have any bias. He does, well, maybe he does. He goes, all our tests are 100% honest because we don't, we pay for everything and, we don't get anything for free. That claim doesn't hold water, and the facts are out there. Look at Consumer Reports. I've worked with Consumer Reports from a professional standpoint before I started doing this. And they're like, they don't take advertising. They buy all the stuff themselves. I know for a fact those people have got some hard bias against several companies. They hate those companies because they won't give them insider information or they've had previous experience with them or something. There's bias out there in all sorts of ways, shapes, or forms.
It is after 8.
Okay, let me catch up.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Justin, and I'm going to say your last name, and you're going to tell me if I totally butcher it. Eden Miller, $5 super chat. Thank you so much.
Woo.
Says, any ideas when the Atomic 12-volt ratchets are coming out?
No. All I can tell you is that some Mac dealers have them already. If you really want one now, contact a Mac dealer. No idea when they'll show up on retail or if they will show up on retail store shelves. Halo says, a leaf blower, we got it. Chainsaw, we did that one. Brent says, looking to get the Ryobi Power Multi-Oscillator or the Ryobi Angle Grinder, which is more useful? Boy, useful is based on what you do with it. I would say that the multi-tool, because it does multiple jobs, would be more useful. But if you're doing a lot of metal work, the angle grinder is probably more useful. Fred says, boy, houses are a money pit. For now, yeah, tell me about it. We're staying in Colorado unless Denver gets even more you know what. If they do, we're off to Wyoming. Woohoo, Wyoming. I love Wyoming. Kent says, sounds like I need to stay with my Ryobi cordless tools. Then I was thinking about switching to rigid cordless. Need new drill and want the impact driver. Yeah, I'd stick with Ryobi. If you're investing in Ryobi, they make great tools. Just get the brushless stuff or the HP stuff. It's good stuff. Steven says, you're making a trip to Montana. That sounds more exciting. Oh, in the summer, in the spring, it totally is. Not right now.
It's beautiful.
Paul Samer says, the last time I got a free tool is when my mother sent me an angle grinder for Christmas. When did my bear turn red? I don't know. It's based off of how long you've been a member. I think red is the longest. Fred says, if you have a Sears Craftsman tool, you're just out of luck. Yes, you are. Thomas says, I found a Craftsman CMCD 721 half-inch hammer drill tool only on Lowe's clearance rack, discounted from $179 to $71 to $15. Holy cow. Talk about a unicorn price. Frank says, I have pumpkin pie. You and PT can go sit in the corner together. Tech Girls, if you're using TikTok, you're really part of the general malaise of the country. Fred says, my wife went to SF for work. It's sad. Needles all over the street. Homeless everywhere. Crime unreal. Yeah, I've heard it's terrible. Halo says, took the family to see Ghostbuster Afterlife. Loved it. Have you seen it? I have not seen it.
We have not. Griffin is super wants to see it, though.
I won't go to a theater these days.
He said he didn't want to go to the theater, but he did want to see the movie.
I do want to see it. I'm waiting for it to come out and home stuff. William says, I use my Crock-Pot Express to make a cranberry sauce.
William sent me the recipe. It sounds amazing.
Fred says, the beef we're getting is grain-fed. I'll be honest, I prefer grain-fed beef. I really do. It's tastier. I'm sorry, it is. Michael says, 85 cents a pound, double the price, and ship the insulated containers with dry ice. Moneymaker there. Even with all that, that's half Walmart rates. And it's probably better quality. Chris says, I'm hesitant on Harbor. I don't get the 90-day warranty thing. Then buy the extended warranty. Basically, look at it like this. If you buy Milwaukee, they force you to pay for the warranty. You don't have an option. Same with all the other brands. Harbor Freight gives you an option. They discount the price and go, what if they did this? What if they sold it to you at a list price that was higher with a warranty, with a 2-year warranty on it, and then said, when you got to checkout, would you like to opt out of the warranty for an X% discount? It's math. Either one way or the other. It's the same thing. Fred says, Bear, remember the meat eater that was the honey moose up in Alaska, and the moose he thought he'd killed, and he gets there, and the moose gets up and pokes him in the butt? Not that way. Not they're living happily ever after. Scorpion says, I have to get to bed. 3 a.m. comes early. Good night, sir. I probably missed you already. Buckmaster says, dentools.com, nothing better than venison. Elk. I guess technically a type of venison. Michael says, my new beagle never passes up a chance to snarf up free food. She never forgets where a neighborhood snack has been found. That's a beagle for you.
Yeah.
Beagles are the food. Oh, they are all about the food. Mark says, I was at a field trial and one dog went tail between legs, whimpering her first time out. Oh, that's terrible. Brent says, how'd you like that $10 DeWalt kit? That's pretty cool. That $10 DeWalt kit is pretty nice. Jimmy says, not talking about my current job, but younger here. I'm 23. Was wondering what you consider to keep an eye out for when trying to get a career started, i.e. not taking advantage of.
It depends on where you want to be.
When you're younger, you're going to be taken advantage of. That's just the way the whole system is based on. That's capitalism. Your point is your job is to make yourself more valuable and work your way up, which means when you're not on the job, you're thinking about what can I do better on the job. You're studying, you're practicing, and you're getting better at the job so you can force them to pay you more and get some sort of, commiserate pay out of it. When you're starting, that's the whole point. That's why they hire you, is so they can take advantage of you. That's the point of it. They did with me. They did with her. They do with everyone.
Yeah, but I think it's also important to pay attention.
Yeah. If it becomes egregious.
We have not eaten moose, Fred Hill.
I've had moose jerky.
Okay, apparently he has eaten moose.
Napa wine. Napa wine's not bad. There's a great place just south of Napa, just south of the city of Napa by a few miles. You get to, I think it's the Napa River, and you go to the boat launch. And at the boat launch, there is, do you remember going there? There is a little cafe that serves like grilled burgers and chicken and just basic kind of food. And then they have all the best wines right there. And you can sit out on the deck and watch the people fish and the boats go by and drink a fabulous wine with a good grilled, just basic burger. What a great time that is.
Hey, Grimmoot.
Fred Hill says, to brew whiskey, do you use a still? Yes, you have to. Although you could freeze distill to a certain level, but if you want higher proof, higher than like say 20 proof, you're gonna have to use a still. Thanks for the liquor answers. Now I have to buy your book. Michael, email me. I'll send you a copy. Mandates leave it to Biden. Oh yeah. Greg says, got a Bosch set for work. Love them so far. Bosch makes fantastic stuff. They've been the rest of the world outside the U.S. Nobody's heard of Milwaukee. They use Bosch. They use Makita. That's pretty much it. Hilti as well. Fred says, I heard that above 4K, the human eye can't tell the difference. Not really, because you got to understand, you got to look at the patterns where the eye actually sees. John Gonzalez says, welcome back. Thank you, John. Power Tools for Beginners says, hey, Bear, big shout out from Team. We read that one. Gramute says, hey, like how the shop is turning out. Looked good from last time I've seen it. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff in here. I actually need to thin some of these tools out. MSNBC and the rest are not fit to be organ donors. Jimmy says, thanks for answering my question on the Icon wrenches. Just changed account names. I love my current job. It does have to have an end to clarify. Brent says, radio company in Arkansas is doing a pandemic sweepstakes. Las Vegas, Puerto Rico, or Big Sky, Montana are the destinations. Big Sky is the primary choice of most.
Yeah.
I've lived in Vegas. I've never been to Puerto Rico, but there's a lot of islands besides Puerto Rico I would rather go to based on the people I've talked to. And I've been to the U.S. Virgin Islands. I've been to the BVI. I've been to Jamaica. I've been to the Bahamas. Yeah, and I'd go to Big Sky also. Michael says, as for the KR case, that same item was never that effective in the Mideast. Troopers usually kept the AK in the car when the ARs did. Yeah, most of the guys I talked to ran that way also. Frank says, I'm so happy for the live stream. Thank you. Fred says the last time I was in SF was in 1978. Wow, that's a long time ago. Gramute says the tool community needs to stop all the drama. Yes, they do. Spectre Air says, I was in Sears yesterday and they started upgrading the Craftsman socket and ratchet sets from made to Taiwan, which seems strange to do on their deathbed. I didn't know there was a Sears that was still open, dude.
Somebody else commented that they just saw, Thomas, right below it says, funny, my husband moved it, so now I can't read it. Just saw yesterday the last Sears has now closed.
Oh, wow. Jeff and Jesse, Antonio says, hope you're both doing well. We are. Kent says, the guy who wrote the song, I'm Just a Bill, passed on Wednesday at the age of 88. I'm just going to say, and I'm sorry that he's gone, but I'm Just a Bill passed. Did he pass the Senate?
Jeffrey.
And the House?
Jeffrey.
I'm sorry. Too soon?
Too soon.
Johnny Thunderstrick says, is Struggleville mad at you? I don't know. Struggleville and I both started around the same time. I was coming up. I passed him by around 20,000 or 30,000, somewhere at that mark. And he did some videos at that time saying some nasty stuff about me or something, saying that I didn't know. Allegedly, I didn't see him. Some people told me he claimed that I wasn't talking to the folks at Harbor Freight. As we all can tell at this point, that clearly was true. Not true, not what he said, but it was true that I was talking to him. And I don't know. I don't know why he would be mad at me. I honestly don't watch his channel. I don't know anything about him. I did have somebody complain that I was stealing Struggleville's content, like his deals. And for a lot of you, what you don't realize is those companies they email us the deals. So somebody emails me, the company emails me the deals. I talked about the deals. That doesn't mean I stole it from Struggleville. It means the company sent it to me as well. I don't watch his channel anymore. I honestly, I thought he quit YouTube a while back. I didn't know he was still doing it.
We're behind.
I know we're behind. In 8th grade to memorize the preamble for the Constitution, guess how I did it? Oh, yeah. Problem is I couldn't sing it out loud. Dude, I was right there with you with that one. Fred Hill says, they're over-the-road drivers. They're on the road for weeks to months at a time. I can't even imagine being away from your family like that.
Speaking of over-the-road truckers, Adam Bennett with a $50 super chat. Holy cheese and crackers. He says, I love you guys. Love Montana. In Portland, headed to Fontana. Be safe on the road, and thank you so much.
Hit us up. I'm red@denatools.com. We'll take you out to dinner, have a drink or something, say hi, show you the shop, whatnot. I realize you're on a tight schedule, and that might be hard to do. But if you do have the time, hit us up. We're in Livingston.
And thank you again. That was an incredibly generous super chat. Thank you so much. Peter, and I am going to horribly mangle your name. Chris Lieb, $4.99 super chat. Bear, how do you feel about the Mile High stainless milk can setups? I've had great results. Mile High stainless.
I know who Mile High is. Here's what I'm going to say about Mile High. So, full disclosure, Mile High, the guy who does Mile High, wrote a book on home distilling. The company that published his book came to me first, and I told them no. And they tried to court me for about 6 months. I said I wasn't interested. They sent me a contract, the whole 9 yards. I said I'm not interested. They went to him, and he did it, and then they badmouthed my book, did basically copies, ripped off copies of my book, stole not just the content from my book for those copies, but the reviews as well, and posted them on Amazon. And it took me 2 years to get Amazon to do something about it. And the fact that he still works with that company, knowing that all this stuff, pretty much says something about that business. Also, on top of that, he was a home brewer who was honestly a Johnny-come-lately to the whole home distilling kind of thing, and basically was like, oh, I'm a home distiller too, and never was. And I'm sorry, a lot of us did a lot of legwork back in the day to get home distilling to where it is. Mm-hmm. And then we had a lot of carpetbaggers show up after the fact. And honestly, he's one of them. And I'm not a fan. And I won't buy anything from him because of that. Zafia says, not that they need shout-outs, but Nate the lawyer, Rakita Law, Uncivil Law, Legal Bites have covered these cases from a semi-non... Great stuff. I followed a lot of them. Nate and Rakita and Legal Bites, I've definitely watched their stuff. Great stuff. All right. One of the things they don't get that I can add to, and hopefully I'm probably gonna do a video over on the other side, is I come at it from I'm a certified use of force expert, and there's some aspects of this case and of the law that I think they did not cover that need to be discussed. So over on the Bears Den, which is our other channel, check it out. And I'm going to set up probably over the holidays here around Thanksgiving and such. We'll do a live stream and we'll do a discussion about use of force. Fred Hill says, I thought you said a DIY can go with non-brushless. A DIYer can go with non-brushless. You can do that. But if you're going to do sanders, orbital sanders, they just chew through batteries. I would say don't go. If you're going to get a sander, don't get a cordless sander. If you're a DIYer, get a corded. If you need a cordless sander, then you should go brushless on that sander. Fred says Tecton is great. Long live Tecton. William says I finally got the 3/8 and the 1/2 inch Ryobi impact. Ryobi makes a fantastic impact for the money. They really do. John says, should I go brushed or brushless for a drill driver? Unless you need it for, see, that's the opposite. Drill drivers really don't need to be brushed because they run in pulses. They're so short run. Unless you need the ultimate top end power where you're just drilling hole after hole all day long, you don't need a brushless one. Johnny Thunderstrike says, I get a yard tool for Christmas from Harbor Freight and I finally use it in the springtime. By the time the springtime comes, the warranty is expired if I have trouble. That's why anytime I always recommend people, if you buy something from Harbor Freight, take it home, test it. You got to do that. That's just part of the getting the discount kind of thing. Or buy the warranty. Gary says, I have a good Thanksgiving. Hope to be home by then. So good night. Michael says, next Ghostbuster film, see it at the Montana Winter Drive-In Theater, speaker box, and outlet for an electric heater. That would be funny. Fred Hill says, remember the 70s going to SF. The food was great. I loved it there. As a kid in the 70s, I went to Candlestick. I loved it. Food used to be fantastic. Unfortunately, a lot of those small restaurants have gone out of business due to all the laws regarding health insurance and all the legality stuff they have.
Adam Bennett also said, thank you guys. Love just laying in my bunk and watching the show. Reminds me of home. Well, I am so glad we can bring that to you.
Michael says, Napa Wine and Auto Parts. Oh, that would be an awesome shop, wouldn't it? Okay.
I was thinking like a cars and coffee. Like we could do something with, I think.
Wine and Wheels?
Wine and Wheels. There we go.
That probably is a bad idea from a marketing standpoint.
Right. I don't think insurance.
And an insurance standpoint. Mm-hmm. But that said, she doesn't like wine.
Wine doesn't like me.
I like wine. Not a lot, but every so often I like a nice glass of wine. The Brent Rose says, you're all awesome. Have a good night. Sorry, Brent, I wasn't laughing at that. I saw the next one. Fred says, have you ever heard a moose call? Yeah, he keeps calling me on the phone. Here, moose. Here, moose. Fred says, how can women function with the long nails? No clue. Show me your nails.
They're not super long.
I know. That's what I said. She will not do the long nail thing.
I don't I mean, I think of like logistical issues with long nails.
Like typing?
Like going to the bathroom, zipping your pants up. Good luck.
Brent says, I have room for the tools you want to thin out. If you're in the area, I got a recip saw. I got a miter saw I got to get rid of. Minnie Trixie says the 20-piece ratcheting wrench set from Gear Wrench is on sale for $50. Wow. It is. We talked about it. That's not a bad deal. I have that set. It's not the high-end ratcheting wrench set, but it's I think a 72 tooth. It's decent.
Okay, I know that we're getting caught up and we're almost caught up, but I just wanted to say one other thing. When you buy stuff, especially around the holidays, keep an eye out because sometimes it goes on sale and each store will have their own policy as to whether or not they will price match it within a certain period of time. Most of them will. Today, I got a notice from Target saying some things I'd purchased went on sale and I got $70 back. So I'm just saying, look out for yourself.
Chaka says the commenter about the last Sears is closed. That's 100% misinformation. There were people shopping at the local Sears just 3 hours ago when I went by. Good to hear it for the people who work at Sears. I feel terrible for the people who work there. It's like slowly getting sucked into the maw of was the sand creature in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. It's a terrible position to be in. You got a job, it pays money, you probably like what you do, but you know the end is in sight. You're not going to get away from the Sarlacc. The Ramadula says, have you heard the Home Depot threatening to lower your credit limit if you choose to pay cash rather than charge? Seems wrong to me. I have not heard that before.
How would they know?
Johnny says, I don't get Struggleville's videos recommended to me anymore, just yours. He must be jealous. I don't know. I honestly, the last I heard about him was somebody commented like you stole his deals, and there were deals that were sent to me by, I think it was Snapfresh, honestly. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. These get sent to me by the manufacturer. The last time I remember Struggleville, he was doing stuff about like Madden, the mobile game stuff, and he wasn't doing tools anymore. I didn't know if he was still doing tools. Tech Gorilla, Struggleville is busting your tool bear facade. I see. That's not a dig. I don't know what is. My tool bear facade. Like, I don't hide who I am. I've been I'm like one of the most open YouTubers there are. I talk about who I am. I've shown people my LinkedIn accounts. I've told people what cities we live in.
Must be all the filters we use.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll be happy to meet up with anybody who comes to your town. Zap says, I like Struggleville, but he can get bent after his anti-gun rants, which I believe he deleted. His own enemy. Oh, I'm sorry. If you're anti-2A rights, I got no time for you at that point. Fred says, I've got to still get my back
Injected. Is what I think it means.
Still looking to have lower back surgery. Oh, the problem is L3 and L4.
Man, I am so sorry. But I'm glad that you are doing better. But that's still awful.
Grimute says, hey, Grimute, have you seen the IG post of my lift on my truck? I did. I just saw it today. And I went to comment, but I was literally like off-road. I was trying to pull up Onyx. By the way, if you hunt or you backpack, like in the backcountry, or you do four-wheeling off-road, Onyx is fantastic. I can't imagine hunting anymore or doing any of that stuff without using Onyx. I'm not paid by Onyx. I don't get a commission. I don't get anything from them because until I'm unbiased. I'm totally biased because I applied with, what was it, On Hunt or whatever it was, that other company.
Oh, right, yeah.
They hired the guy. They never called me back, and they hired and I wasn't going to take the job. I just wanted to see if they would call me. They didn't even give me a phone call, considering my resume is ridiculous. And they hired the guy who did Rate It Red, which is a channel that completely failed and hit into the side of the mountain, and 3 other companies before that imploded and flew into the side of the mountains. So I guess they wanted people who know how to fail. I'm not good at that. But no, I meant to comment on that. I will later this week. By the way, if you're not following Grimute on IG, you got to follow. He's got a great channel. Michael says, no need for a free book. Willing to pay for what I take. Oh, you've helped me, and we talked so much, brother. That's ridiculous. Still looking for work. Had 2 good interviews last week. I thought you had a job. I thought you had one lined up. I thought you were like working for somebody. Somebody stole my drink. That's terrible. We got to get caught up here. I can't pronounce it here. I can't. Who can pronounce that? How do you compare the Icon double flexing ratchet flex box wrenches to Snap-on, or how does Harbor Freight replace a broken? You walk into. That's why I used to be a Craftsman fan bearers were, because you'd walk into Sears, you'd put it down on the counter, they'd be like, just grab another one, and out you go. And Harbor Freight took over that role. I've been on Snap-on trucks and had people like, well, it looks like you put a pipe on this one. I did. It was for testing purposes, but Harbor Freight's never asked me that. Craftsman, Sears, when they started asking me that kind of stuff, like, I don't know, this might look like abuse, I was done with them. I went to AutoZone, I went to O'Reilly's, I went to Pep Boys, I went to all the automotive stores. Napa, Napa was just like, I was in and out of Napa in 45 seconds. All right? When I test and broke things on purpose. I cut ratchets in half with a bandsaw, and Napa's like, here you go. And Harbor Freight's the same way. Snap-on, it's all based on the dealer and what he feels like doing. And guess what? Once you buy all your tools, that dealer never comes back because you're not buying anything. Now you got to deal with corporate. Have fun with that. You just spent 20, 30, 40. The average professional mechanic who buys from Snap-on over his lifetime spends $100,000. And by that point, he's bought all his tools. And guess who's coming by to service them? Nobody. Kent says, Kent Extra Mile Custom says, I like wine. It makes me jolly. It makes me a jolly good fellow. Michael says, I had $1 million idea some time back. A barbershop and a dog groomer in the same building. That way the pet can see the owner and keep calm while he's... I know a lot of dogs would freak out if they saw a guy back with something wrapped around his neck and a guy going in with shears. Brent says, wish I was close, but sadly I live in Arkansas.
Well, but you could travel.
That's Arkansas for all the rest of you folks.
Anyways, if you are traveling, let us know.
Montana's very friendly.
Yes.
Unless you want to move here, in which case they'll tell you that we're full. But right. North Dakota looks nice.
North Dakota's full too.
North Dakota. Thomas says, maybe one day I can share with you the fiasco that occurred in my backseat in my $70 68 Grand Prix coming back from California. Oh my gosh. What was her name? Fred says, also this time of year, don't hit me. Also this time of year, you don't have to return things until January 31st. If you buy something on Target,
yeah,
you're supposed to pick that up and run with that.
I just told them.
You told them about the whole Target thing? Where was I?
This is why we don't let
Oh
him
my
drink
gosh.
a lot.
Anyway, moving along.
Yeah.
You misunderstood. He's telling people how you make the tool bear. That was not a dig at you. I don't care if people know how I make the tool bear. I won't promote it. I don't like the company. The company is POS. That's hilarious. He's doing that. Is he going to start doing a tool bear too? You tell everybody you like. I could care less. John McCara, you're the bear king. Thank you. Fred says my back is off and on.
Man, that stinks.
You know what? So is mine. About 3 or 4 times a year, I will just turn wrong, and I've never seen a doctor about it. I hurt my back on a jet boat of all things. And,
Yep.
And I'll be sleeping in a chair for the next 3 to 4 weeks because I can't lay down. The Rev says, do you think we'll see any deals on the rigid R4560 table saw? Is that the new one? I've got it sitting. I got the new one sitting behind me. Lord knows if I actually know what the serial or the product number on it is. I'm not good with names. I'm not. Was it the rigid?
You're killing me.
Smalls. Mm-hmm. My cut and paste failed also. Oh, that thing. Some people did report that in some of the stores it's going on clearance. It's getting replaced by the Delta. I think if they're still around after Christmas, there'll be some huge markdowns on it. Ramadula says, HD sent me an email threatening to lower my credit limit if I don't use my charge account, even though I remain a loyal cash customer. Don't like that.
Yes.
That's
okay.
typical.
Well, that is true with a lot of credit card companies. Like if you don't use it within a year, they will do that.
But here's the deal. Here's what you have to realize. Home Depot does not manage that account. It's some bank that's behind it. Mm-hmm. They're not connected to Home Depot. They don't look whether you're a loyal cash customer. They just go, have you used our account?
Right. Yeah.
So it's not, they're not intertwined. It's the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
They just know that you're not using your credit card.
If they were smart, they would. But they make so much money, they don't care. Adam says, oh yeah, Raider Red. What happened to that in Alabama Boss? They hired 65 talent producers and camera folks for a channel that got less views than I do. And guess what? Not a profitable proposition. What's with the Shine On motto? I was curious. Back in the day, I used to live in Kentucky, and I had a job as a young man delivering moonshine. I'd learned how to make moonshine in Kentucky, and during the summer, I would deliver some shine. And then years later, I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area when eBay started, and somebody was selling recipes on eBay. And they had a whole lot of reviews, and they sold thousands and thousands of them. So I ordered one, and it was a joke. I got it a week later, paid $7. It was one piece of paper. Half the page was used, and it was double spaced. Basically said, take a bunch of water, heat it up, mix it with some sugar, let it cool, throw it in a thing, put yeast in it, let it sit for 5 days, and then run it through a still at this temperature. And that was their how to make moonshine thing. And I'm like, this is a joke. I could do better. And over the course over 2 weeks, I wrote a 33-page paper on how to make moonshine the right way. And that then expanded into a book. And I'm now the author of the best-selling book in the world on how to make moonshine called The Home Stores Workbook, Your Guide to Making Moonshine, Whiskey, Vodka, Rum, and so much more. I also did a book on how to, the basics of wine, how to make beer, a bunch of other stuff. And when I wrote the book, my sign-off was Shine On. Mm-hmm. And I did a lot of speaking events. I did a lot of book signings. I always sign everything Shine On. So I started doing YouTube. I was like, everyone needs everyone wants a sign-off on YouTube. And she's like, why not just use the same one you've always used, Shine On? Okay. And that's how it goes. And a lot of people don't have a clue where it comes from. It comes from moonshine. Michael says, had a job until the security clearance investigator decided not to grant me one because of the wife leaving to join a cult. Said I had an unstable home life. Oh my gosh, somebody needs to slap him. That is ridiculous. I am so sorry about that. I can't pronounce
it. says sorry. It's R. Lennox the third.
Oh,
but I can't change it without losing my subscriptions. Totally get it.
I get it.
We just need to know how to say it.
I thought it was something from like Cthulhu or whatnot. Carlton says, tell my girlfriend hi. Hey, Carlton's girlfriend.
Hi,
how
Carlton's
you doing?
girlfriend.
Have a happy Thanksgiving. She's always getting on me for buying tools after I see them on your channel. He's going to do great things with the tools. He's going to make stuff for you, fix stuff for you.
And I'm guessing that she probably watches stuff on YouTube and then she buys stuff and then she feels amazing about it. And, that's how that works.
I'm pretty sure I had her for life after I fixed your doorknob.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Her landlord had installed the doorknob to her bedroom backwards.
Yeah.
Brent says, too cold. It is pretty cold right now. The wind is howling outside right now. If you keep seeing us
I will be right
look
back.
over that way, you're going to go outside and check the wind?
No.
Did you say North Dakota moving north? Not me. No, not me. No, North Dakota is a beautiful state during the summer. I didn't know, they have national forests. Do you know they have national grasslands in the same way? And North Dakota is just gorgeous if you could appreciate and pronghorns everywhere. Just beautiful land. I don't want to be there in the winter. The wind has nothing to stop it. Mark says, awesome chat tonight, Bear. Thank you, Mark. Brent says, broke my back at 19, 2 rods, 18 screws. So cold is a bane. Stay south, brother. I've broken and hurt. By the way, I didn't tell everyone. I should show you a picture. I jinxed myself because 2 weeks ago, I was thinking to myself that we're pretty lucky that not one of our 3 children has managed to break a bone yet. Well, guess what happened? One of our cubs broke something. And let me see if I can pull it up here. My phone's trying to wake up here. It always has this issue when I first wake it up after a long time. Fred says, well, good night. Got to take my meds, sir. Good night to you and your wife. Zaf says, the rigid Home Depot clearance of that table saw 375 is a killer deal. If anyone can find it, it is a fantastic deal. That is by far the best bang for the buck saw out there right now. Rev says, I thought the Delta 10-inch table saw was being replaced by the rigid. I might have that backwards. The Delta's not being replaced. The company that makes Delta, the parent company, is also making the rigid saw. So they've shifted almost all their manufacturing to do that, which means it's hard to find the Delta saw. Delta is sold at Lowe's. The rigid is sold at Home Depot. They're practically the same saw. Not exactly the same, but very close. That is not the screen I was looking for. I was looking for my chat messages. And I pull this up, see if I can find it here. Timmy says, thanks for the info. Zaf says, is your Montana PO the same? Maybe post it again. It is the same. I'll try to see if I can find it here in a minute. John Gonzalez says, squirrel. I hate squirrels. Oh, here we go. This is it. So the ex-wife, he's living with her right now down in Vegas, sends me this out of the blue, just that image. I'm like, that's my son in an ER, and I freak out. Just completely lose my you-know-what. Here's the pose he did for the x-ray. Gotta love that. And he broke his pinky finger. And this is a group chat between the grandma and his uncle, who's like I often refer to as my brother, down there. And we're sitting there going, "What's going on?" Blah blah. He broke one of his fingers. Like, oh my gosh, which one? His pinky. We're like, really? How do you do it? Play basketball. And both Evan and me are both like, "Yep, that happens." I think I broke this finger, and I've jammed the snot out of half my other fingers playing basketball. It is just something that happens if you play basketball. There we go. Anyway, Ben says, you're both hilarious. Tag teaming that poor guy's girlfriend by him buying tools. The Last Best Tool. Oh, and he's in Montana, I'm guessing, based on the icon there. Doc here from the Last Best Tool here in Missoula. Missoula. I'm so sorry you're stuck in Missoula. Just giving you some grief there, brother. Got some Klein gas testing sensors for a safe holiday. Awesome. Good to hear it. We also got John Gonzalez. He's talking to somebody else. What do you think of the Craftsman 3-drawer toolbox? $290. It's not the best tool set out there, but if you're in the VersaStack system, it's hard not to want that because it works so well with the VersaStack system. I totally get it. And it's better than the regular flat panel stuff that they're making these days. Ben says, I admit it, I'm a tool bleep. Buying new tools is so intoxicating. It is like that. Brent says, I said that and I broke 6 vertebrae. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, brother, I'm so glad you're up and walking and not in a chair at that. Mark says, most of my power tools are corded. I get it. I get quarter power. You got to understand, quarter power tools have an amazing runtime. The charging time on them is next to nothing. Gerardo, I told him about Duncan breaking his finger.
Oh, yeah.
And then about, he said basketball, and Evan and I are both like, yep.
Yep.
That's the thing. Lance says, have a blessed Thanksgiving and enjoy your channel. I've purchased an impressive amount of great tools based on reviews and recommendations. So glad you're part of the tribe here. So glad all of you are still here. You stuck with us. It's 8:42. We are 42 minutes past
Yep.
where we're supposed to be. We got to get home. We got cups to take care of. I got to get up in the morning and find more deals. So thank you, everyone who joined us today. We're going to cut it off here. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on, like the shirt says.